I listen to would make you cry.
And Rosenberg.
I expect to be called ball coach.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
301 in the big city. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg with you full frontal again until 7 o'clock on a day in which the Yankees survive. And as Bob Wischusen would say, did it in style. Down 6-1. Proclaimed dead by Alan Hahn on the text thread.
Wow, you're really just going to go there, huh? You're going there.
Like you're the only one.
You
like
choose
you are the only one.
Right out of the gate.
I chose honesty.
You're going to out me like that.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm making it up. No.
Kind of friend you are. I did say
you were not the only
I said
one.
Good. I
6-1, they're
I'll tell
dead.
you. Good night,
They're
baseball.
Dead. Good
Another
night,
starter,
baseball.
He can't. Another starter can't carry the water.
No, they're cooked.
They're down 6-1. That's what made it so incredible. The improbable comeback. In fact, facing elimination in a sweep situation, a team down by 5 or more runs has never, ever come back to win the game.
And Blue Jays start kicking the ball around. Their bullpen can get anybody out. And then steps up Aaron Judge.
Wow, you chose violence. Okay.
I'm just you got to be held accountable. Did you? Hey,
I'm
listen,
human.
I'm just showing you.
Which one of you out there wasn't saying good night baseball?
I saw it on social media.
You were all saying
they're dead. It's over. Fire everybody. Now listen, there's still a lot more work to be done, for sure. But we talked about it one step at a time, brother. And now you got yourself they're pitching an opener. Cam's going. Your guy that saved the season not even a week ago. And now maybe the Blue Jays start to feel it a little bit.
Oh, they're feeling it.
Having to go back possibly to Toronto for a Game 5. And they were feeling it last night. They did not play well, did not pitch well. But I will say this, and I want you guys to come at me, 1-800-919-3776, is Boone really can sense what his team's about. I'll give him that. Because if you go back to Friday, when we were having conversations about, Cam pitching, Littler, is he going to be able to save the season, all that stuff. And then we played sound from Boone, where Boone said, it wasn't Friday, it was obviously Thursday going into the game. I saw him in the hallway, and he looks ready. He feels ready. And you're like, that's just Boone being Boone.
Yep.
And he was right. Mm-hmm. Kid was ready, saved your season.
Locked in.
We played sound yesterday where he talked about how comparing last year's team to this year's team, and he mentioned about this year's team, how they're there for one another. They're there to pick each other up.
Yeah. And
I had said, and you didn't completely agree. I said, you know what? They probably are in there saying, let's win one for Stanton. He's never won one before. Let's rally around Judge. He's getting beat up by the fans. I think Boone sensed that this team is together, because what I took from what happened after that 3-run home run was that the Yankees said, our captain had his moment. Let's not waste this in a loss. Because at 6-6, you can't tell me game's over. Blue Jays can expose the Yankees bullpen, win the game anyway, but the sense felt.
Everybody felt.
We are winning this game.
Yeah. That tied the score, but it won the game.
But
that's a true fact. In fact, a lot of the players, Jazz said it after the game. Tim Hill had a great line. He said that momentum shift, you could feel it in your bones.
Right.
Like that moment just, again, I'll repeat what I said. That home run tied the score, but it won the game. And everybody felt it on both sides of the field.
Now, it's easy to say now, after they won and they added on, which is something they're not going to do.
Well, he makes the catch in the next bottom in the top of the next inning.
But I'm saying it's the 4th inning, right? So, and 12 runs have been scored, and we're in the 4th inning.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. It's not over. It's easy to say now they won the game. You knew they were winning that game.
It's
the point is,
Don, it's a feel.
No, that's fine. But you feel, but you could also feel like my starter's out. This bullpen has not been good, and all of a sudden the bullpen got good. Because then I can assess after the fact. You know what? Cruz goes out there, clean inning. Like everything started to come together. The bullpen comes together. Mm-hmm. They tack on runs, and they win the game 9-6, okay? So we can have the argument, how you feeling? Of course you feel like they're going to win because they won. But I'm looking at it and going, 6 runs have been scored. We're in the 4th inning. We might be here all night. This final score might be 23-22.
I understand.
Who the hell knows?
But I'm telling you, your point, I know what you're trying to say. But there was something about that moment that made the Yankees go from when they were down 6-1 going, like this, like we were all going, like this is like they had to feel some form of being demoralized, but they were able to tack on too quick, like boom, boom, made it 6-3.
Yeah,
right. That kind of helped bring them back from what felt like the morgue. Okay, but for the better part of the series, they have looked overmatched, and then you go, Guerrero's already dancing on your field, and they're already up 6-1. Another starter can't get out of the 3rd inning. And you're telling me that wasn't that feeling the first time the Yankees said, we can do this. It is the first time that they felt it in their bones, like Hill said. That's what I mean about that moment.
Right.
And the Blue Jays, for the first time, were like, damn. Because they knew Bieber wasn't going to give them length, and their bullpen stinks.
Yeah, their bullpen was not good.
Let me give you the numbers. You ready?
Yeah.
This is why them facing an opener tonight, and I actually think it's going to be Varland, right?
Yeah.
Who was the guy that gave up the 2 home runs. But he's very good. He's very good. But their bullpen went over 9 innings, 12 runs.
Yeah.
Go back to, again, is there momentum? Does it count? Game 2, late game 2, into game 3. This has been a series so far of dueling bullpens. And starting pitching on one side that has been dominant, and on the other side has been god-awful. The Yankee starters, 15 runs in 8 innings. Can Cam Schlittler put a stop to that? Because if he can stop that bleeding, this series is going back to Toronto.
But my overall point is that Boone knows his team.
Yes.
And it's not just words. And Judge hits that home run, and the Yankees, and you see the way Judge doesn't bat flip. Judge doesn't point at cameras. Judge doesn't do that. But what he's doing is saying, listen, I'm hearing it. I know what you guys are saying about me. What do you think of it now that I'm batting .500 in the playoffs, and I just had a bomb of a home run, a signature moment for me that might be the catalyst to this team making a run.
Are you not entertained?
Now,
is what he did there.
Lose tonight, it's not going to matter. Lose tonight, it's the Chavez home run, it's the Zelapukin goal. It's an afterthought.
Starks dunk.
It's an afterthought. But if this turns out to be, even just getting out of this series, and I do think they'll go to the World Series because I just don't, again, those Central teams and Seattle and all that. But the thing is, this could be the catalyst, and this could change everything. And Boone said that they feed off each other and that they try to pick each other up. So the Yankees all rallied and said, we can't let this go to waste. And so the bullpen goes out there and shuts it down, right? Shuts it down. Mm-hmm. Duvall even came in. All the bullpen did allowed 3 hits, no runs, over 7 2/3 innings. That's picking up your captain. That's understanding the moment.
Right. They use 4.
6 2/3.
They use 5. How about Devin Williams getting a standing ovation walking off the mound? Again, same guy that got booed.
Cruz gave up a hit in an inning and a third.
Yeah.
Duvall gave a hit in an inning, and then
Hill was good.
Hill pitched, got 4 outs.
Yeah.
Then Devin Williams got 4 outs, did allow a hit. Bednar comes in for an inning and 2/3, gets the job done. But it was just like, hey, Boone kind of saw Cam coming. Boone saying, hey, they think about each other. You argued yesterday, well, listen, they're all thinking about themselves. But there's certain times where it's like, I can't let Judge's home run go to waste. And now you hope that that's the same sentiment going into tonight. Let's not have this end up in a series in which we lose. Let's have this be what sends us to the league championship series. The lineup is out, because the game's 7 tonight, right here after our show. So Grissom stays. He got 1 hit, stays in center field, and he's leading off. Judge batting second, Bellinger third, Stanton cleanup, Jazz at second, Goldschmidt back in the lineup. He's going to be at first.
That's a no Rice.
Wells catching, Volpe at shortstop, man at third, and then Cam is going to be your starting pitcher.
So moving Wells up, McMahon out there for defense, obviously.
Now, again, this is kind of like the same thinking when Elder pitched for the Red Sox is that, hey, I'm not going to worry about matching up against the starter because they're going to be in the bullpen, and I want to make sure that I match up about everything that's going to happen after the fact.
That's what Boone said last night after the game, was just having guys available, knowing I want to force them into decisions because he knows this is going to be a bullpen game for them, which, by the way, bullpen. I mean, we saw it last year, I guess, in the playoffs. So Max Scherzer's so bad he's not even on the playoff roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's there. Chris Bassett's been banged up. Barrios been banged up. Like, they don't have another starter. Like, this is it. So they've got two guys that shut the Yankees down. Neither one of them available to go here, and both of them will be available for Game 5.
Right.
And so that, again, like this, you got to get to Game 5, but I agree with you that this has to continue. Now, everybody today had the same take, which is kind of what you were alluding to, is that was a nice home run. It was an unbelievable hit. We all know the numbers behind how rare, meaning never, has anyone hit a ball that much off the plate inside on an 0-2 pitch and smoked it for a home run. It's never happened. Over 99 miles an hour. Nobody's ever done it, but he did it. And as Cody Bellinger said, he's just different. But it becomes, like you said, the Chavez dunk, catch, the Starks dunk, all those things.
The Ventura's grand single, all that stuff.
Moments that happened but didn't lead to a win in the series. But they were still like, you'll never forget it because it was just spectacular in the moment. But right now, everybody's calling it Judge's signature moment as a Yankee. But can I say, though, that while I agree, what Schlittler did last week, which is pretty amazing, right? That was a moment. Yeah. Special. Then this happens last night. I mean, hitting the foul pole the way it hit, just a very dramatic. It's magic. You hate it because you're a Mets fan, because all Mets is everything's about magic. But you got to admit, if you can recognize it, Don, tell me that you aren't now at least thinking to yourself, okay, that's two things. That when you go on a run, this stuff happens along the way. Am I right?
And not only going on a run, if you're going to come back from 2-0 down after being outscored 23-9, you're going to need a little something. Now, we can always go through magic that happened that you don't remember it as magic because you didn't win. I mean, one of the greatest moments in Red Sox history is the Fisk home run where he's waving it fair, right? That won Game 6. They lost Game 7.
Okay.
Right? So we'll see. But, hey, it's got the ingredients are there. Now, we'll see if they make a cake that advances them. But the ingredients are there we're doing things you're not supposed to do.
It's the reason to buy in is what I'm saying. It's the reason to kind of you got to recognize these things sometimes. And sometimes, look, the Mets had a little bit of it last year. It did not result, right, in what, you would say when it's a real magical run, you win a championship. These are the stories. These are the chapters in the DVD. Right. These are the moments that they feature in the DVD, as you always like to say. So I'm looking at it like that. Like, these can become chapters along the way because it's not isolated what happened yesterday. It goes along with what Schlittler was able to do, and you're going to need something now in Game 5, if you get to a Game 5, that adds to it to move on to the next thing. But I just feel like if it was isolated, I'd say this might be the only time we can at least say Judge had a good October, despite the fact that the team didn't have success. But there's been a couple things happening so far that make you feel like, okay, this feels like a little bit of magic on this team right now.
Okay. And also, if you want to take the fairy dust out of it, what it does show you is there is a cardiac kid kind of element to this team.
Yeah.
To where they really believe that they can do it. And they're not overwhelmed by the moment. Facing elimination twice against the Red Sox, facing elimination a third time here in this series against the Blue Jays. They're going to have two more.
Mm-hmm.
If they find a way to be able to get through this, and it's still a big if because you still got two more games and a game in Toronto in Game 5 on Friday if you get there. But if you get there, you'll galvanize yourself into believing that,
no question,
that we can do this, that we have the heart of a champion, that we can't be scared of. You can't kill us. We're zombies.
Okay.
We can't be killed.
Now you feel it.
That's what you feel.
That's what
I'm
suggesting is if they find a way out of this when you get to the LCS, how do you not become the team of destiny? Everybody's like, well, they're a team of destiny. Look at them.
Now, it's not ideal, and I'm not telling you to get excited about it if it happens tonight, but now you can't say, well, the Blue Jays put up a 3-spot in the first inning, game's over. Can't say that. Can't say that. It's not ideal. You don't want that to happen.
Better not.
But the whole thing, you'll pull the plug on the crowd. That's the other thing, too, is there anything that would kill this crowd?
No.
So if they did fall behind, if the Blue Jays did get off the mat and score early, if Cam gets pulled in the 4th inning and the game's 5-1, again, not ideal, not where you want to be, but you'll sit there and go, all right, we've seen this act before, man.
Well,
they can do it. And the Blue Jays, a team, again, that hasn't won anything since Joe Carter's home run, it starts to creep in the mayor mind. This team won't die. We can't kill this team.
What did they say last night, too, was which one of them said it, that if you take your foot off the gas against a good team, you let them right back in it.
Yeah,
and you can't afford to do that. And tonight feels like foot off the gas because you aren't going with one of your main starters with an ace, with somebody that, like, you're going up against their bullpen, which is garbage. It's not good. And they've been smacking the bullpen around. So you have to win tonight. Not must win because it's elimination. Must win because you can't lose this game tonight. Right? Now, one thing I am wondering about. They have had the book on every starter so far in this series.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have the book on Schlittler, who they got to see for 8 innings against the Red Sox? They watched that carefully. They are incredibly prepared. Rodon.
Yeah, they're prepared.
Rodon was absolutely just a blood. You could see it in his face. Another starter. He just by the second inning, you could just see it. He didn't want to be there.
Now, listen.
My God, everything was thrown. They know it.
This is still no way.
Guerrero did. Oh my God.
Listen, we just talked about all of the positives of what the Yankees have accomplished. It's still no way to live, of having to come from behind, having your starter not give you anything.
That's all you got.
It's unfortunate, but but the fact that you can and to have it be Judge, who also, hey, you could say it was a quiet 444, whatever the batting average was going into last night. That's not a quiet 500. You're batting 500. You've got more hits than anybody in the postseason.
You hit a double.
You just hit a 3-run home run. You had a big double as well in the game.
Big catch.
So you got extra base hits, big catch. I mean, stop it already. Stop it. Because this is where I kind of get into, like, the Yankee fan being spoiled. It's like, dude, get off his back now, all right? Just get off his back. And we'll see what happens tonight. But, dude, you're getting to see a special player who's doing things nobody ever's done before. You're in a position. You're alive.
You know what's coming, though. I'm with you. Like, he is answering the bell, and you know what's going to come. If they don't win this series, well, yeah. Sure, he finally hit in October where it didn't matter, where the team didn't win. It's almost like he can't win until he wins it all.
Understood.
He can't win. There will still be people that are going to come at him and say it's not enough, it's not enough. Because all I heard all day was how, like, Chris Canty, I love Chris Canty. He was saying it on ESPN National. He was like, can't be a signature moment until they win the whole thing.
No, he's that Yankee fan.
But that's the problem. It's like that's what everybody's going to say. That was an incredible moment, just isolated in baseball because it's something that's never been done before to a pitch like that.
Well,
and he was able to do it to a point where the pitcher was bent over, like he was going to throw up. Like, I can't believe I threw a great pitch and he killed it.
But that's the nuance that people get lazy.
You just tip your cap.
I don't know what's going to happen tonight.
And what a moment!
If let's see, he might go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, and they lose the game 2-1, and everybody will kill him.
Would you put your money on it?
How come the conversation isn't? Well, can there be anybody else to step up? Why is it always about him? When everybody's making sure don't let Judge beat you. And finally, he had to go hit an unhittable pitch to knock it out because he doesn't get pitches to hit like everybody else does, and yet it still has to be about him. That's why it's so hard to duplicate greatness in the regular season for the postseason. That's why take a look at Greg Maddox's numbers. Take a look at Barry Bonds' numbers in the postseason. They're not nearly as good as the regular season. Why? Smaller sample size, but it's like, I'm not letting Barry Bonds beat me. I'm not letting Aaron Judge beat me. I got to figure out a way to beat Greg Maddox. And also, the fact is, it's really hard to put together those types of numbers when you're going up against really good teams every single day. In the regular season, you'll mop up against the bad. I'm sure Greg Maddox was able to get half of his wins against teams that were not even worthy of him facing.
Right.
Bonds probably hit Busher's home runs, right? Not every time he didn't face an ace. I'm sure he did well against aces. But now you go into the playoffs and you're facing really good pitching, really good bullpens, really good teams. And they've all circled you as the guy. Don't let Judge beat us. Nobody says that about Jazz. Nobody says that about Bellinger. Nobody says that about Rice or Goldschmidt. Not anymore anyway. They might say it about Stanton when he's hot. But right now, that's the guy to stop. So if you don't win, why can't it be about maybe everybody else? Like finding somebody else to carry the team instead of Judge. He's hitting 500. You're here because of him. Mm-hmm. All right? So lay off the guy, all right? We'll find out what happens. But already it's not it just, you don't hear the arrogance in that.
It's amazing.
Because Chris is a Yankee fan. It's like, sorry. Just appreciate the fact.
It's amazing.
I know Bernie hit a bunch of key home runs and Tino and all the clutchness of Derek Jeter. But you are getting to watch somebody. You're watching a unicorn. You talk about unicorns, right? Oh, Tani's a unicorn because he pitches. And Mahomes is a unicorn because all the things he can do. This is our unicorn. He's on your team. And all you want to do is complain that he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that and we don't win this. I'm listening to Ty today because Ty's saying that because we always talk about, when George was alive, we overcompensate and say, well, you should be just happy you're in the playoffs. The Yankees set a different standard. Well, there's no standard anymore. There's parity. Alan talked about it. Every year there's a new champ. We haven't had back-to-back championships in Major League Baseball since the Yankees did it back in 99 and 2000.
It's amazing.
All right?
Years.
We're 5 minutes away from the Diamondbacks playing the Rangers in the World Series a couple of years ago. All right? It's hard to win now, harder than it's ever been. And you've got a team that goes to the playoffs every single year.
33
but you
years
moan and groan, we don't win the championship. But and you should be disappointed you haven't won. But at the same time, just try to appreciate the fact that you're here. The Mets aren't here. The Jets and the Giants aren't going to get there. The Knicks went to the conference final for the first time in 25 years last year. The Nets never do it. The Rangers, they've won one championship in 85 years. Literally, one cup in 85 years. Your team goes to the playoffs every year, and you should be disappointed that they haven't won since 2009. You should be disappointed that they're facing elimination again. But at least give me the fact that you get to enjoy a team that shows up. You get to enjoy a team that goes to the playoffs every year. You get to enjoy a team that's got the best player in the sport. That's all I'm saying, is that at least acknowledge the fact that you're lucky more than any other fan base in New York. You should thank your lucky stars that your dad or your grandfather or your great-grandfather made you a Yankee fan, because you could be anything but that and you'd be miserable. And if you're a Yankee fan, you're probably a fan of other teams. Is there a team as gut-wrenching as the Yankees could be, as frustrating as the Yankees can be? If you root for multiple teams in this market, tell me the other team you root for is even close to the Yankees, even close to giving you the joy the Yankees give you on a daily basis. So, yeah, there's frustration, man, but still, thank your lucky stars, because we're sitting here talking about a team facing elimination while everybody else is cooked. Mets, cooked. Jets and Giants, cooked. Maybe the hockey teams will give us something. Maybe the Knicks will give us something. So at least you got that, Alan. You've got multiple teams. The Knicks don't give you this joy. The Islanders don't give you this joy.
Don't say the Jets, because we already know that.
Well, I'm not ignorant enough to say that, but I will.
No, don't do it.
The Jets don't give you this.
The Judge thing has gone too far. And that's the stuff that I think would frustrate you more than anything. I'll push back on some of the other stuff. There's a standard with Yankee fans, and I have no problem every year having that same feeling of disappointment because they didn't reach or win the World Series. And that's just because I don't want to let go of that. But I don't like what I was hearing all day today. The but about Judge's home run last night
I don't want to hear
is
any
insane. Because that's why he gave the second look to the camera. That second look to the camera was literally are you not entertained? And then you see him post-game when they were talking about the pitch and what an incredible pitch. And he's like, I got yelled at for swinging out of the zone all the time. But now I do, and everybody loves me for it. Pick something. Pick one. Like, you could hear he's getting fed up with this, too, which I kind of like.
Well, because
what I don't like is when the athlete pretends he's not hearing it. What I love is Judge knows that he's locked in, he's dangerous, and he's letting everybody know. He's keeping every receipt.
Well,
and that home run last night and the way he flipped that bat, that was him basically calling everybody out. You're not entertained.
There's no way the judge could ever say he doesn't hear it because that was
But that's all right. He's being honest, and I love it.
1-800-919-3776. I got more to say about what Alan just said, but we want to get to your calls. We've got a big show. Booger McFarland, his weekly spot, coming up at 4 o'clock. We got a list at 4:30. ENN at 6. Take you up until 7 right here on ESPN New York.
The Wiz has issued an upset alert. Number 1 Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, and BYU are all favored on the road. Someone is going down. Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz, on the Fine Line, Saturday at 8 a.m. In the NFL, KC faces another big test as they host the Lions. Plus, the Wiz talks baseball, soccer, and hockey winners. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz, Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
You know so much about who you are. But do you know what makes your body your body? With over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help you know the truth. Because you know you're made of grit, wit, and a good heart. But just how healthy is that heart? You know you're made up of all the places you've called home. You know you're made of your mom's sarcasm. And now you can find out if you have her thyroid too. You know you're made of college all-nighters and 30s early-nighters, but those still don't explain your sleep issues. You know that you're made up of good meals with even better conversation. But are you actually absorbing those nutrients? A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon. Yanks still in it to win it tonight in the Bronx. Game 4 of the division series against the Blue Jays. If you're getting a jump start using the inbound, George, some road work on the upper deck, just about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Lower level in pretty good shape. Deegan already bumper to bumper in both directions, heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound, George. Outbound, Lincoln and Holland Tunnels, just about 5 to 10 minutes each. Jammed at the Triborough Bridge heading into the Bronx. A crash on that leg. Solid slowdowns go back into Queens. LIE eastbound already slammed heading into Nassau County. Long line of brake lights approaching Willis Avenue from the BQE on through. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship. minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Now, I was mentioning to you that Ty was filling in for Chris Carlin.
I like Ty and Bart together.
Yeah, they're very good.
Because Ty knows how to like the thing I enjoyed working with Bart. Well, there's many things, but one of the things I really enjoyed the most is like once you knew what buttons to push, on certain days it was kind of fun. Because once you got him going, it was just buckle up and just go for the ride.
But you mentioned the standard. And we're going to get to the calls in just a second at 1-800-919-3776. The standard goes away when the parity comes in and everything ends up being equal.
Yes.
Because why were the Yankees the gold standard? Well, number one, they had more money than everybody else, so they were able to go out and get the best players, right? And because of that money and because of ownership, they always made sure they had the best manager and they had the best general manager and that they had all of the things that necessitated going out there. And
what era are you talking about?
Any era. I mean, really, because you go through the history of the New York Yankees.
Was the reason why they were so good in the 20s is because they just had more money than everybody else?
The very underrated thing about all those sports.
Did they sucker some idiot into trading Babe Ruth?
No, because, they suckered that person, but also the fact is that it was all regional, right? Lou Gehrig played in Columbia, right? So we'll just get him.
Which I think should come back.
We've got money.
That should come back.
Right, that would be why do you think the Canadians are winning all the time? Like they got the pick of all the French Canadian players, and they're the Blackhawks are like, we can only take kids from like the middle part of the United States. We're never going to win.
Well, now that's changed.
Yeah, because you had the draft, but so there were certain things that back in the day.
There's good players.
For sure.
It's changed now,
but it was a little different back in like the turn of the century.
Imagine how good the Bruins would be right now with all the kids from
like literally the Rangers, the Bruins.
Yeah.
Not so much the Red Wings because again up there they were able to take some Canadian kids where they were situated.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were with the other four American teams, I got to take somebody. Well, the Mullins weren't until later on,
right?
Like from Hell's Kitchen.
Nick Fatio was from
Staten Island. I literally was taking the scraps that the Canadians and the Maple Leafs didn't want.
Yeah.
Basketball the same thing. Football. So the Yankees had a certain advantage. That they took advantage of it.
Okay.
And then free agency. Well, they've had the most money. They were able to get the most free agents, and with that money, they were able to scout better, and they were able to do all the things they do. Now, when you talk about the standard, well, they don't even have the highest payroll anymore. The Dodgers and the Mets do. So everybody's figured out ways. They had the insight on the analytics. Well, now everybody's doing the analytics, right? I can go to other places to play and have a chance to win. So you don't have a lot of advantages. Now it's just about, going out there and building the best team. And Yankee fans keep telling me, well, you don't have the right general manager or you don't have the right manager. So when you talk about a standard, well, the standard is, well, you don't think they're very good with their general manager and their manager, and now you want to expect them to win because we're the New York Yankees. Well, they're just like everybody else. But when you measure them against everybody else, they're still better. It's a lot harder to win than it was before. I'm just telling you to get off the standard because now you're in the midst of parity.
I'm not getting off the standard. That's not happening.
Well, what advantage do you have that everybody else doesn't have?
What I'm trying to say.
Matter of fact, you could be at a disadvantage because the taxes are higher in New York.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other conversation. But we should have it one day. But no, I think what a lot of Yankee fans feel is that we know our team's good every year. That we expect that because you're the Yankees. You're supposed to be this. That's the standard of the brand, right? That's expected. Like when you hire the best that can make you a competitive team every year. That's just expected. And despite the taxes and everything else, players do want to play in the pinstripes. Ask them all.
Of course. Because,
ask them all.
Yeah, there are certain teams
they just
that
want
are
to be
sexier.
here.
The
Yes.
Yankees are always going to be sexy.
Because of the because of the city.
That's the
because
S word you use, sexy rather than standard. Because because look at the standard. When was the last time the Montreal Canadiens won? When was the last time the Dallas Cowboys won?
Just
like the Celtics, they don't win at the same clip they used to win.
No,
Nobody
don't.
wins
No.
at that clip
You're
anymore.
Right. They don't. But that's not like you don't compare yourself to everybody else. I don't know why you can't understand.
You do.
This. No, you don't.
Why?
You look because the Yankees and their fans compare their team every year to the past, not to
that's stupid.
Everyone else. It might be stupid, but that's how you maintain a standard. This is who we are. And so when you're good enough to be a contender, like last year was frustrating because they lost in the World Series, but not because they didn't win the World Series, because of what it looked like.
No, I get
that was embarrassing. If they had gone like in just a slugfest, 5-6 games, even 7 games slugfest with the Dodgers lost, tippy cap, hell of a season, and keep it moving, right? But because of what it looked like, it gets you angry because it's like, why do you play like that?
No, I'm not. I
moment?
never tell you
And
not to
blame
be
leadership.
frustrated.
But that's
I'm just
what it's about.
saying that you still set a standard that nobody finishes above 500 every year for the last 30 years. Nobody goes to the playoffs with the clips that they do.
Well,
and everybody
not
sinks,
nobody.
right? San Antonio took a dive. Dallas took a dive.
Yeah, not
Montreal
nobody.
hasn't won in over 30-something years.
Not nobody. Because one team does it.
Right.
And that's why. You don't ever want to lose that.
And
if
haven't.
you lower your standard, you lose it.
But you're
Because
not
once you start accepting.
No, but
once
it's
you
not
start
accepting.
accepting
accepting reality?
Every year, you might just have a down year. You know what might happen. Once you start doing that, and then it happens, then you get used to it.
But they've done it already.
No, they never did it. 82 and 80. They still were over 500.
But I'm saying
you have to make sure as a fan base you keep that pressure on to say it is unacceptable to have a losing season because that's the standard here.
But you even haven't had that. All I'm saying is to complain that you haven't won the big one or ripping into a all-world player in Aaron Judge because he hasn't won a ring yet.
I agree with
you
that.
know, I'm not sitting here after the Yankees lose 100 games and go, don't cry. You haven't lost 100 games in 50 years or whatever. I'm saying that you can still at the same time be frustrated and complain, but also appreciate that you have it better than anybody. All right? And the gold standard, you could talk about the Celtics. Celtics won 18 championships, right? In a shorter period of time than the Yankees have won 27. But there's parity in the NBA. You can't win all the time anymore, so they're winning at less of a clip. Canadians, how many championships? The second most championships in North America. Haven't won since 93. Dallas is an embarrassment right now. They're going on a quarter century without a Super Bowl appearance.
And that's the cautionary tale.
Right, but I'm saying it hasn't gotten to that point.
No, but you don't want to get there.
I mean, but you're not going to get there.
Okay, but I don't understand. Like I said on Monday, after it was 0-2, I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to rip because you got to get out of your system. You get out of your system. What happened last night? Did everybody still complain, or was everybody still front and center?
Now they believe.
Everybody was 10 toes down. Okay, I'm mad at you, but now it's time to win a game. Win a game, and then we're back in good graces. We're back to feeling good. That's just how it is. That's the reality of a Yankees fan. The Judge stuff, though, that's where I'm with you in lockstep. Because that's gone too far. That, to me, feels generational. That's something new. That never used to happen. Whatever they're doing to Judge right now is almost like as if it's a badge of honor to put this burden on this player who has been nothing, practically a saint. And he represents the Yankees in the pinstripes as well as any other player who's ever put the pinstripes on. And the play last night, that home run last night, the double to get it started when things looked bleak, and the catch after the big – think about it. You just had the biggest moment of your life, and then you still have to lay out and make a big catch to make sure they know, no, you're not getting a rally. You're not answering
all I
back.
ever say.
That guy deserves nothing but your respect and your applause and nothing more from this point forward, because he let you know. He put you, the fan base, on notice last night with that second look at the camera. Because the first look he usually does. The second one was for the rest of you. And that's why this has got to stop now. I don't care about what happens tonight. Because they have to win, yes, but you can't start changing every night it changes. Well, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. He has had a good October. You want him to have a great October, but he has been a great Yankee. He has represented the franchise to the highest level. He only deserves your respect.
Let's go to Dan in Baltimore. You're on ESPN New York.
Hey, Don, I couldn't agree with you more about look at so many fan bases that would die for 30 years of competent, good management. I'm also a Jet fan. They can't give me 30 minutes of good, competent football. And everyone wants to hate on Boone, hate on Cashman. Like, I live in Baltimore. Oil fans would kill for 30 years of over 500. Just my point of all this hate for them is just so unnecessary.
Well, I think
Cashman deserves all the heat, all of it. Because this is his style of play that a lot of fans don't like.
And Alan, brings up the point all the time is that you understand the frustration that you have, but they would say, "Well, listen, I'm not an Oriole fan."
Right.
There's
you could say I'd give anything for it.
I expect. But I'm saying
then you can't. You don't know what it's like, so you can't tell me how I'm supposed to fan. You can't tell me that I'm not supposed to be frustrated. I should just be happy because what if you were an Oil fan? But I'm not.
Right, but I believe Bronx agrees with you because I'm tired of people who aren't Yankee fans or fake fans telling me how I'm supposed to feel about my favorite team. Yeah. Talk football or hockey or something. But listen, I have opinions. My opinions shouldn't be relegated to the things that I'm a fan of. I happen to be a Met fan, but you know what? I've been on sports radio for 30 years. I can have opinions on other teams.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is I think you should appreciate more what you have. I'm not telling you not to be frustrated. And if they lose tonight, I expect you to be red hot tomorrow, calling up saying, I can't believe we got beat by the Blue Jays.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
I can't believe we got beat by
I'm just saying that after it's over, you can look and say, it could be worse. I could be a Met fan. Could be worse. I could be a Net fan or a Jet fan or an Islander fan that never wins. Or I could be a Ranger fan. One championship parade in 85 years. 85, original 6 team. All the things that the Yankees had in their favor before there was a salary cap. 8 straight years of missing the playoffs. So I'm just saying is be upset. I'm not telling you how to be a fan, but I'm telling you as a human being that you can appreciate the greatness of Aaron Judge instead of picking apart he's got no rings or he doesn't show up in October or having to field phone calls that they should trade him.
Oh, God.
Then maybe just say, listen, it really stinks that my team hasn't won a championship since 2009 and they put me through the ringer every October. But you know what? I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world because my team's good.
But you know what? Everybody feels that. We just don't have to say it. But I agree with you. Again, I'll say it again. Whatever happens tonight, and again, if you lose this game to the bullpen, there's hell to pay. And everybody deserves a chance to rip tomorrow. I don't expect it. I don't see it happening. But if it happens. But Judge, if they lose tonight, is nowhere near the top of the list of complaints. Nowhere near. Of everybody who's all your vitriol, he does not get 1 ounce of it. Not 1 ounce.
1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 7 here on ESPN New York.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same-day or next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
All right, let's dive into the calls. 1-800-919-3776. Wayne's down in Charlotte. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Wayne?
Hey, Don. How you doing, man? What's up, Alan?
What's up?
Hey, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is if you're going to keep the pressure, the Yankee fans going to keep the pressure on the Yankee organization to constantly produce championships. Being over 500 for 30 years is not enough. The collateral consequences to that is they're going to put pressure on Aaron Judge. Yeah, you could hit 500, but your job is to lead us to a championship. So you can't have it both ways. Like, Alan, you're trying to have it both ways. You want the pressure of the standard on the organization, but the players represent the organization, so that same pressure, unreasonable or not, is going to come. I'm not saying it's right, but wouldn't you say you have to expect that?
I like what you did there. I like how you took that. You conflated the 2 points, and it really, I'll give you that it is true that is the heavy is the head that wears the crown thing. I mean, it's, we see it with all the teams here, especially the ones that haven't won in a long time and the pressure that comes with it. So, yes, but
I like that.
I just don't feel like. Name me another. Like think about Aaron. Who has ever in Yankee history has ever been treated like Aaron Judge has been treated by some fans?
Well, Alex Rodriguez was, but I kind of understood
Alex
that because Alex wasn't
a
a homegrown guy.
Right.
But the idea was he wasn't living up to expectations. He was winning MVPs.
Don
and fans I don't
Mattingly didn't make the playoffs until his back gave out.
Things were different.
And they were
back
chanting
then
Donnie Baseball
because the Yankees hadn't won a championship since '78. Right?
Yeah.
So and they were also coming off the awful late 80s and early 90s.
But who was playing?
They didn't blame Donnie. They blamed the organization for not getting him better players, and they had awful managers, and they weren't run well.
Okay, and then?
So
what's the difference here? That's why I said you put the pressure on the front office.
Better, and he's got better players than Don Mattingly did. I mean, Don Mattingly had like Danny Tartable protecting him in the order.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Aaron Judge has got Stanton and Bellinger. Before that, it was Juan Soto. Right, there was protection. Listen, and Donnie was homegrown. Judge is the first homegrown player that I can think of in New York
that's taken heat.
That has taken this kind of heat because those are usually the guys that get the pass. The free agents, the guys that got traded over here, they would hammer Messina, they would hammer Giambi, Winfield when he came over here because you came here to win and you haven't won yet.
Because Reggie set a standard of this is what a free agent's supposed to look like.
Right.
You come in here.
Well, Reggie, and then eventually Tino Martinez, who wasn't loved, but
until he hit the grand slam,
and then he hits the grand slam home run.
Yeah.
But it was pretty quick. But they won a World Series the first year he got here.
Right.
So Tino and Bernie Williams was always pretty clutch too.
Homegrown guy.
Yeah. But the free agents always, or the guys that got traded here, always had to hear it. But Judge, you know why Judge is different? Because Judge is better than all of them. He's better than all of them. I got news for you. It sounds sacrilegious because some of these guys I'm talking about are in the Hall of Fame.
No.
Judge is better than all of them.
It's not just that. It's because Judge has been in the playoffs in 8 of the last 9 years, right? He's in his 10th season.
Yes.
So this is obviously the 9th out of 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, right? They've only missed the playoffs once in his time?
Well, he got called up in 16 and he didn't make it.
Right, that doesn't count.
No, just the one time.
Just the one time, okay. So in all those moments, he has not felt like the guy that has been at the front of the race, right? He has not been the guy leading the way.
No.
And I think the fans know it, but the more the media talked about it, the more it's becoming now a thing that you just hold him now to and wait for him to do it so that we could put this away about you. And this is happening now.
Yeah, but
this has got to be something that goes a little farther than the ALDS.
Understood, but you know what was really unique?
I think it's more about that. The annoying narrative that you need to put away so we don't have to hear it.
But you know what? It's still hitting different because on Monday, we're taking calls that Judge is hollow 444.
Yep.
Nobody wanted to hear about how many hits he had.
Because of the bases
loaded. And the guy
they
gave the pass to was Max Fried.
The
newest Yankee.
You saw me.
The newest Yankee.
The
guy that you acquired to be the man. A guy they're going to hand an American League Cy Young Award to when this run is over.
Okay.
Win or lose. And, he might have had a blister or he's tipping pitches. Nobody's killing him. Back in the day, you'd be eviscerating Max and giving Judge a pass, giving the homegrown guys a pass.
Listen,
you're still killing Judge, and you had right on a silver platter Max Fried to destroy. And at least on this show, nobody did.
No, I did.
But I'm talking about the callers.
Yeah. No. I clearly I don't know anything about baseball, but I know sports. And that guy didn't want to be out there. And that's the first thing I noticed. And I couldn't believe no one was calling him to the carpet. It was straight to Judge and the bases loaded at bat. That would have changed everything.
Yep. How about
it was a moment, and I can't deny it, but Max Fried was an absolute bust when you needed him not to be.
He was. And yet everybody was killing him.
And by the way, he better not be if they get to a Game 5.
Well, that's just
he better not be.
You're hoping.
Because if they do all this work to get to 5 and he blows up again because Toronto is too loud or whatever it is that was going on in his head.
We'll see.
You're going to be Sonny Gray.
There. Britt, New Jersey, you're on ESPN New York.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's up?
Alan, I agree with you. So I am originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, the other side of the country, right? Mm-hmm. I moved out here in 2019. My husband's originally from here, diehard Yankee fan. However, leading up to me moving out here, my brother and I always loved the Yankees. And I got to be honest with you, being in Las Vegas, we had nothing except for the Running Rebels in the 90s, and that's been pretty much it until recently, right? What attracted me to the Yankees so much was the fact that they had the standard that you're talking about, Hahn. That is 100%. You have to keep that standard. If you don't, then you're right. You just start backing off and saying, all right, well, at least we got here. I agree 100%. You have to keep that standard and the bar high to continue to be in the position that they're in right now.
That's a great call. It's the idea of I don't want my society to break down, so I'm going to uphold every law.
Right, but I just wish that there would be at least a little bit more of an acknowledgement, Brett, that the 4 championships in 5 years, those dynasty teams with DiMaggio and winning 5, those days are over. All right, so the standard has to be adjusted because you've got more teams, you've got more playoff rounds, free agents, you got other teams that could spend money. Used to be back in the day, you had a handful of teams. Now everybody's spending money. With the revenue sharing it. So I'm just saying, acknowledge the fact that part of it is cash for not building the right team. And part of it is too reliant on the analytics. But also part of it is it's a hell of a lot harder to win than it ever been.
That's 2/3 what you just pointed out. 2/3 controllable versus the third that is, it's a lot harder now. But I also remember since 2009, the Giants and Red Sox just taking turns winning World Series in a bunch of years.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's not that you can't. Nobody's saying you got to win 4 in a row.
I know, but you know what happened?
But you could win
I'll play.
It'd be good enough
I'll play
to
Hal
have a team that's like, hey, we're good enough to get maybe 2 in here in this
I'll
run
play
of
Hal
4
Steinbrenner.
years.
But listen, the Red Sox have won more than the Yankees.
Yes.
But you know what Hal
Unacceptable.
Steinbrenner will say is, well, look what happened in between. I mean, I followed that giant run with Nancy. That was her favorite team. Win the World Series, then you miss the playoff.
I know.
Win the World Series, finish under 500. Win the World Series, gone. Same thing with the Red Sox. Lose 100 games, win the World Series. Go back to finishing under 500, win the World Series.
You still had a core. There were injuries. Things happen.
Things happen, but also things go from, hey, they're all in on one season. Brian will always tell you. The Yankees tell you this.
I know.
It's not about championship. It's championships. Mm-hmm. It's about, I am not going to rob Peter to pay Paul. There's never going to be a moment we have to win this year. They don't think that way anymore. So that standard that you hold the Yankees up to, they don't even hold themselves up to that anymore because they realize that that's not the best way to do it in their eyes. Mm-hmm. Right? Hal's got the ability. You know what? I decide this year we're going to have a $500 million payroll, and we're going to win the championship.
The guy.
Not going to want to do it.
It's again, there's one guy, and it's Brian Cashman. That's the one all of your vitriol needs to be directed at. Not anybody else, because this is the way he wants to do it.
1-800-919-3776. Have we heard from Booger? Booger McFarland, our weekly spot with him coming up next. We'll also take more of your phone calls. We've got a list, a pretty good one. An interesting, unique one at 4:30. ENN at 6. Don on Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
I have an ad brought to you by BetterHelp, all right? October 10th is World Mental Health Day. And this year, we're saying thank you, therapists. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you, so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and preferences, and their 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate mean they typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from their licensed, tailored recommendations. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. All right? This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who've helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Okay, girls, ready to go?
Yeah! Mom, I'm hungry. Can I have a snack? Me too, Mommy.
You want a snack?
Yeah.
Got it?
Children learn from our behaviors.
Mommy, can you open this,
All right, hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, here.
Thank you.
They learn what is okay from the adults they see.
Mommy, are you on your phone?
If you're a distracted driver, chances are they will be too. What kind of driver are you raising? Funded by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, Alan.
I like when he holds it.
Yankees look to avoid getting eliminated tonight for the second day in a row. They'll face elimination against the Blue Jays. Game 4, American League Divisional Series tonight against the Blue Jays right here at 7 o'clock on 880 After Us. We've got the Tigers and the Mariners playing.
1-0 top 4.
Mariners with the 1-0 lead.
Yes.
And the Mariners can end that series with a victory tonight, so they can move on to the League Championship Series, I believe for the first time since 2001, if they're able to do that. And then later on tonight, we are going to have the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and then the Phillies and the Dodgers. Phillies facing elimination. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. He's our weekly spot on a Wednesday. He's Booger McFarland, and he joins us here on Don Hunt and Rosenberg. How are you, sir?
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
It's all going. You know, we've got 2 football teams that are going nowhere, but at least we have a Yankee team that's got a chance to advance. How did you get into football growing up at all? I mean, baseball growing up at all while you were playing football?
No, I was scared of the baseball, but
Wait a minute, we're scared of a baseball? I love how you said scared of the baseball.
Yes, I mean, I was actually scared of the baseball hitting me.
Yeah, but now
did you happen, though? I mean, I can't imagine you didn't at least see the replay of Judge's home run, though. Like, it just as an athlete, that kind of moment. You got to do you appreciate it?
Completely appreciate it. I didn't see the replay. I watched it live.
Okay.
I can get into playoff baseball, playoff hockey. I can't watch game 144 though, or game 76 in hockey. But once the playoffs start, I can watch. I watch a lot of playoff baseball, a lot of playoff hockey, because it means something. So I can get into it then.
Well, we can get into Giants-Eagles no matter what time of year it is. It's a Thursday this week, but I don't know if the story's about the game as much, or is it about this stuff coming out about Saquon Barkley. I want to ask you, Boog, when you played, what was the reputation of the Giants organization? And is it different today?
Well, the Giants were always one of the kind of the pillar organizations in professional sports, not just football. I think the way the Tisch and Mara family ran the organization, what they stood for, it's in New York, so obviously that adds a little bit more pomp and circumstance to it. I think it's still that, regardless of maybe how some people view leadership inside. I think the organization is always going to be bigger than a couple of individuals who happen to work there or run it. It's kind of like one of the coaches told me years ago. He was like, regardless of who plays quarterback at the University of Tennessee, whether it's Peyton Manning or Heath Shuler, the University of Tennessee is still bigger than them both. I think the same goes for the Giants in certain organizations in professional sports. Like the Giants are always going to be bigger than the coach, the GM, the quarterback, because it's the New York Football Giants in the biggest market in our country. So I think it means something.
So it doesn't hurt like an organization like that. First of all, it's what they're going through again, another rebuild, going through coaching changes, and we'll see what happens with this current group that got an extra year at least. But then you see, like, Saquon Barkley's got a documentary coming out tomorrow, and it's about going from his ACL injury all the way through to when he ended up winning the Super Bowl with the Eagles. And in it, he talks about going to the Giants and asking for a trade when he was going through the contract issues, and how John Mara said, no, we can't trade you. It wouldn't be good for your future, and it's not good for our organization. They ended up not trading him. Then they lose him for nothing, and he goes to a rival organization. It just, like, when you think of the Giants, you remember the years when they were well run. George Young, right, Ernie Accorsi. And then you see this happening, and you wonder, like, the dysfunction and how much it can take down the reputation of a franchise. But you're saying that even with all that, no.
Yeah, I'm saying that because I think regardless of who's running it, it's still the New York Football Giants. And I think the Saquon Barkley thing is interesting because we kind of got to see the behind the scenes with Hard Knocks. Yep, and, Mr. Mara did not want, he's like, I think I'd have a hard time seeing him in a Philly uniform. And lo and behold, he's in a Philly uniform. So ownership didn't want Saquon Barkley to go, but I think it gave you a glimpse of just how good the owner is, because the owner said, okay, here's what I don't want, but I'm going to let you guys do your job. And I think that's why they're so good, because ownership understands I own, I let the guys who general manage do that and the guy who's the head coach do that. And so that glimpse gave you just a little peek behind the scenes. And I think if you're Brian Daboll and Joe Shane, you're always going to have that stain, because Saquon Barkley said he didn't want to leave. Yep. Like, he did not want to leave, but for whatever reason, I think Joe Shane, Brian Daboll chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley, and that'll go down as probably one of the biggest mistakes, not just in football, but probably sports, man, especially at the time. Now, Daniel Jones is making up for it, but he's doing that in a different uniform, so I don't know if that saves any face or not.
You take a look at this pass rush, and you know how good Dexter Lawrence is. They add Carter. Thibodeau looks like he can be a player, and then the trade they made with the Panthers to get Burns. How does a team with that kind of talent not sack the quarterback in New Orleans?
Well, here's the thing about sacks, man. Like, would you rather have 6 sacks or pressure on 25 out of 32 throws? So sometimes sacks can be deceiving. I didn't watch every snap of the game, but here's what I would say is, as long as they had relentless pressure, meaning they were making the quarterback do things and hurry his throws, sometimes you're just not going to sack the quarterback, man. The guy gets rid of the ball too quick. I don't know if that was the case. You guys can tell me. I didn't watch the Giant game that close. But to your point, overarching point, their defensive line, it has to impact every game. Like, everyone needs to leave that game saying, regardless of what the offense wanted to do, they couldn't do it because of this defensive line. Because when you have the amount of resources allocated to a certain position, that position not just must be good, they must dominate.
So the Eagles on the other side of this game, they lose for the first time, blowing a big lead. But they've had games this year where they've kind of had to pull them out with some crazy plays, the block kicks and things like that. And now they have a team meeting, and it sounds like, despite the fact 4-1 first place, defending champs, There's a lot of talk about there might be some issues going on with this team. They don't run enough. Like that was their identity. Did they lose their identity? What are you seeing in the Eagles?
I think what you're seeing is a team that's 4-1, that has a new offensive coordinator, that lost the starting right guard. The starting left guard has really been banged up all year long, and they're trying to figure it out. And because it's the sexy thing to talk about, everybody's jumping on it. Now, juxtapose that, Hahn, to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 2-3, and everybody's saying, yep, but they're going to get it right, though. Now, make it make sense to me, because I would figure that everyone would be all over the Chiefs because their record is 2-3, and it hasn't looked good, and they blew a lead against Jacksonville. But we're making a kind of a mountain out of a molehill with the team that's 4-1. I think the Eagles are going to be fine. I think by the time we get to Thanksgiving, I think Saquon Barkley will look like Saquon Barkley. I think the receivers will have their numbers. And I think eventually the Eagles are going to be who we thought they were going to be, which is one of the top 4 or 5 teams in football.
Are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to win the AFC North?
They might do it by default. I mean, Baltimore stinks. Cincinnati has given up on Jake Browning and went and got Joe Flacco. Cleveland is Cleveland. I think they've kind of showed us what they're going to do because they got 2 rookies kind of at quarterback. I mean, if Pittsburgh can't win this division, I think that's a big indictment on Pittsburgh, right? Because everybody else is seemingly no good or giving up.
It should be there. It should be there for them. You said Baltimore stinks, and it's really amazing. Defensively, that's who they were. Ray Lewis, like that's like the identity of their franchise, and they maintained it for so many years. It feels like that's what they've lost, right? They lost Lamar Jackson, obviously. Let's start there. But they really kind of feels like they've lost their identity, which was always that tough, physical, defensive team. Losing the way they did at home, you never used to see that.
Completely agree. I mean, the pass defense was bad at the beginning of last season. They got it better like the last 10 games of the season. Now it's bad again. Lamar being hurt, and on top of that, what are they, 1-4?
Yep.
With the LA Rams coming to the house. So let's say they go to 1-5. As the old saying say, it's going to get late really early because I'm going to go John King on you. It's just at a certain point, it's just math. I mean, 1-5 with 12 games left. Excuse me, with 11 games left. Like, in order for them to make the playoffs at 1-5 with 11 games left, they got to go like 8-3, right? I'm not saying that they can't do it, but it's highly unlikely. So it's a pivotal game against the Rams coming up. I don't think anybody's gonna pick them, especially if Lamar can't play. And if they go 1-5, I'm not saying the season's over, but I think the season's over.
Talking to Booger McFarland, his weekly spot here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. All right, Jet fans are left to they want to know if they've got a coach. How am I supposed to judge if they do? I mean, they're not winning games. They continue to make all the dumb mistakes they made last year. So how long before I can start to say I have a coach? Is there a way to know that in 1 year with Aaron Glenn?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big Aaron Glenn guy, but at a certain point, you're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. And I know he's trying to establish the culture, but sometimes when you establish the culture, you gotta make some statements, some bold decisions. And Sauce Gardner, I get it. He's one of the better corners in the National Football League. Sauce is not playing well. Are you going to bench Sauce? Probably not, but I think certain guys need to be called out. And sometimes when you step in front of the meeting, instead of just saying we aren't playing well, sometimes you got to call guys out. Hey, you're paid like one of the top corners in football. You're not playing that way. Really simple. Let's go. And maybe that's the next step. I'm not sure, but you're starting to see the same things over and over. And one of the things that I thought by now we would see is we would see some of this cleaned up. But the turnovers, the mistakes, and it's being done by some of the guys who you don't expect it from. So it's not as far along as I thought it would be. I still think Aaron Glenn is a really good coach. But sometimes that 12 inches from the assistant or the DC to the head coach is a long, lonely 12 inches, and I think right now he's feeling that.
Yeah, especially on the defense. Boog, I wondered when this became a thing in the NFL. And I know the latest one we saw was the kid DeMarcado dropping the ball before he gets to the end zone, and they take the 7 off. I mean, it would have been an unbelievable run. And why we see this, like we saw it a couple of weeks ago, also this season. We've already seen it a couple of times this season. We've seen it in the past so many times. When did this become a thing in football? Why is it a thing to drop the ball or flip the ball before or just as you cross the goal line instead of just get into the end zone?
You know what, man? Your guess is as good as mine. I think the first time I remember seeing it was, Deshaun Jackson years ago?
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, that was a long time. And then since then, like, we see examples every year of it happen. I think guys get so happy scoring a touchdown. The ball is not necessarily a natural thing to just carry around. And so you want to get rid of the ball because it doesn't fit in your celebration. I guess that would be my only thing. It doesn't fit, so you want to get rid of the ball so you can get ready to celebrate and do whatever you're going to do. And it just keeps happening over and over. And I told somebody, and everybody says, well, it's just a mistake. And no, it's not a mistake. To me, it's a selfish move. Because what I would tell everybody is when you score, give the ball to the referee. So we never have this issue. And if you don't do that, I'd start fining people or cutting people because I think it takes one example. It takes one example of a coach cutting a guy, and I think it never happens again in the National Football League. But these guys do it, and it's like, and trust me, I know they feel bad. But at a certain point, man, like the Indianapolis coach should be undefeated. If Adnan Mitchell holds onto the ball, like they should be undefeated. The Cardinals should have won that game, but he drops the ball. And at the end of the day, Hahn, people lose jobs because of stuff like this. Families lose private schools and Mercedes because of stuff like this. Because at the end of the day, we're judged on our record. And it's sad to see, but if I were a coach, I honestly would cut somebody for that, especially if it wasn't a star. Oh, his ass is good as gone.
And yet Jonathan Gannon instead, because he was so frustrated that he went too far and he was getting physical with the kid on the sideline, gets fined by the team $100,000. Now all of a sudden the kid becomes like a bit of a victim here, and now the coach is the bad guy because just like you clearly sound like you're visibly angry about it, he was too, but in the midst of the emotion of a game. Now, again, it wasn't right what the coach did, but now like it takes away from the fact that, no, stop doing that. Like just stop doing that. Like, yeah, I just that moment and this guy being fined and now being ridiculed for what he was doing. Oh, you don't put your hand on the players. We all get that. But we all know how frustrated would you be if that was 7 points taken off the board on your team and you lose and somebody loses a job for it and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree. Two wrongs don't make it right. You know, two wrongs are never going to make it right. And Gannon was wrong. And as a matter of fact, like, I'm surprised Gannon didn't get some hands put on him. If he'd have hit the wrong guy, he might not have been coaching for a couple weeks.
That's true.
And you know, and the kid has got to understand that. And I get it, man. Everybody says, "Well, if you've never made a mistake, raise your hand."
Oh, give me
I'm like, I get all this, but how many examples of this are we going to see before somebody puts a stop to it? Like, the definition of insanity is do the same thing, like expect a different result. Like, so whatever the coaches and organizations are doing, these kids ain't listening because they're still doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And again, there's mistakes, and then there's it's
a mental mistake. You can't allow it as an organization. You can't allow it.
Everybody's entitled to make that, but that's just
poor
too
judgment. 7 points are too valuable.
It's poor judgment.
Like, seriously, that's too valuable. What's the cost of a touchdown? That's how much the player should be fined.
It's incredible, and it's costing games, and you see all these turnovers and just how ugly it's been. And we usually explain the ugliness of the beginning of the season, Booger, because you're down the 3 preseason games, no more two-a-days, everything that came from the 2011 lockout. When should we expect the worm to turn here? When do you start to think things will click for these teams as we get deeper into the season?
Well, you know, it's kind of like in baseball. You know, everybody always tells me in baseball you got to get to Memorial Day till you get like 45 or 50 games or whatever. And, okay, I've learned that that's what you got to wait on. I think in football, Halloween. Like, by the time we get to Halloween, you know, the people who are dressed in costumes are finally have to take their mask off. And you finally get to know who's who. So, to me, the line of demarcation in football has always been Halloween. I think it's why they moved the trade deadline back. It used to be in October. Now it's in November, because I think Halloween is the line of demarcation. All the costumes have to be taken off. You got to unmask, and you got to know who's who by then. And so I think by the time we get there, we'll know who the top 6 or 7 teams in football are, and you'll be able to pick your Super Bowl champion from a cluster of 5 or 6 teams by the time we get to Halloween.
All right, we'll talk to you next week, man. Enjoy everything that's going on. We'll talk to you soon.
By the way, how did y'all let Peter go to Australia without inviting you guys?
Listen, this is a gift he gave us. Right?
You said no.
No, I was just like, we have an opportunity to spend a week with him literally on the other side of the planet. Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, well, good. I mean, good for you guys. Hopefully he enjoys Perth, Australia. I have no idea where Perth is, but hopefully he enjoys it.
I think we are closer to the moon than we are to Perth from here, distance-wise.
Yeah, that's like an 18-hour flight if you get one direct. And I don't know if he got one direct from New York. That's a long ways, buddy.
No, Dallas.
A long way
from
to
Dallas. Go. I think he literally was in the air a full day.
Yeah,
because he had to fly. He had to fly to Sydney, which is on the East Coast, and then fly to Perth, which is on their West Coast.
Man, that's a long way to go for some bad acting. That's all I'll say.
Oh, what's the longest flight you were on?
We went to Tokyo. The year after we won the Super Bowl, we played the Jets in Tokyo. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yes. We played the Jets in Tokyo, and being a starter, I only played three plays, so I flew 16 hours to get 3 snaps against Rex Ryan. I think Rex Ryan was the coach.
Oh no, that's tough, man.
So well worth it.
Hang in there, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Boog.
All right.
All right. That's Booger McFarland. Think about what he said. All right. That Halloween.
Yeah. I want the Jets to keep their mask on. I don't want to see what's
Halloween is week. Like if Halloween's on a Friday. All right. So if you're saying the week of Halloween, so there's a Thursday night game, Dolphins home for the Ravens, October 30th, and then that Sunday's November 2nd. So make that the Halloween.
Is that week? What is that? Week 7?
9.
That's week 9.
Wait a minute. It's more than halfway through the season.
We're at 5 now.
We're going into week 6. Tomorrow's week 6.
That's what I mean. It's 6. Oh my God.
But think about that. Yeah. We finally will turn the corner more than halfway through the season.
Yep.
Like when they talk about Memorial Day in baseball. Okay, so
is he saying turn the corner, or is he saying you really know who's who at that point?
Yeah, because there are going to be teams that are done
that Tuesday.
Yeah, but I'm saying that you're done. There are going to be teams that are done. He brought up Memorial Day. Now the trading deadline in baseball is at the end of July.
Yeah.
But, we say Memorial Day, all right, listen, I think we kind of know where teams are, but you got more than 3/4 of the season to kind of make up for it. To finally turn the corner, week 9 of a 17-game schedule, that's more than half the season.
When do you think in the NBA? When do you think in the NHL? So they're the same calendar.
But it's usually around the deadline, right?
No, when what a team is. Like, all right, I know what this team's about.
I always, it's crazy. It's kind of changed because Anthony will tell you when we did the podcast. It's kind of changed.
Okay.
But the percentages were overwhelmingly in favor. If you were not a playoff team by American Thanksgiving, you're probably not making it. And that's pretty quick, right?
Wow. Yes.
You're talking about
that's
the third.
Too soon.
Yeah, but it's weird. The math tells you like 70-something% of the time.
Really?
If you're not in the playoffs on American Thanksgiving, we say American because obviously there's 7 Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
And their Thanksgiving's a little later, or a little earlier. That tells you something. Like you have a 70% chance of making it.
So
if
you're
a
month and a half into your season, and you already can tell who's going to be a playoff team.
But to me,
that feels
for
too
me,
soon.
I feel like it's when you change the calendar because it's literally the midway point.
I do feel like when you flip it to January, the dog days come, but you kind of know who's who at that point.
Yeah, you do see like there was.
You go into the All-Star break knowing
when the
who's
Blues
who.
won the cup. When the Blues won the cup, I think it was at 19 when they beat the Bruins. They were the worst team in the NHL on New Year's Day. And
that's right.
But that's very rare.
That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
But you realize that's the midpoint of the season, Doug.
Right. It used to never be, but now it is.
No, but that's game 41 is usually in that
so
in that
that's
time.
like it takes halfway.
So it's the same thing as the football season.
Yeah,
it's just
crazy.
shorter.
But because there's more games, I mean, you really don't have much time to get up. You get off to that kind of a slow start.
Yep.
What we're saying is, as you're feeling your way through the beginning of the season, you're costing yourself. Like the Ravens may cost themselves a playoff berth. They're definitely going to cost themselves the division, it looks like. But they may not make the playoffs because of this slow start.
They still got to play Pittsburgh twice, so that's big.
That's going to help them. But I'm just saying is that you could dig yourself a hole you can't get out of.
That's right.
At least in baseball, we've seen there's so many games.
But in a soft division like what's going on in that division
but,
right now,
Pittsburgh
you might
starts taking care of business, man. You know, they can make it very, very difficult.
That's true. And the AFC South suddenly is
done.
good.
Cleveland's done.
AFC South, man. Colts, Jaguars, Texans.
Yeah, we got to stop making fun of that division.
No.
All right, we've taken this tack. We got a list coming up. We've never done anything like this before, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And it's going to include everybody. How about that? Then we'll get back to the Yankee calls, 1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg until 7. And then it's Yankee baseball here on ESPN New York.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. Pick a bet, bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Visit FanDuel.com/K to download the FanDuel app today and get started. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. Pick a bet, bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Mel Kiper Jr.
If the Giants win 3 games, you would still bring back Brian Daboll?
I would. I'm into continuity, guys. You brought Brian Daboll here to be the head coach, and it hasn't worked. This is their quarterback. Brian Daboll needs to be there, because then you're really screwing up your quarterback. I'm not cutting the cord, because what you do is you take Jackson Dart back to being a rookie again, and you don't want that. Give them a chance to work together and see if they can develop, and Daboll and Dart together can get this thing going in the right direction.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
I feel speechless. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Must win for the Yanks tonight in the Bronx, game 4 of the division series against the Blue Jays. If you're heading that way, using the inbound, George looking really good for both the upper and lower decks. Deegan just a bit heavy, both up and down. Heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound, George. Outbound, Lincoln, a great ride, about 5 to 10. Outbound, Hahn, run you 15 to 20. Solid slowdowns on the Whitestone Expressway northbound. Heading over to the Bronx-bound Whitestone Bridge. Bumper to bumper there from City Field. Looks like a new issue on the belt eastbound in Brooklyn. A crash slowing you down down right after Coney Island Avenue. Traffic is crawling there from Bay Parkway on through. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products or compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
You just made the list, buddy.
This is The List with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
No, we're fighting
already controversy. Great. This is Winthrop was in here coming up with arguments about some of your choices. Anthony, the calls better start now because this is going to definitely become
fun.
A debate.
This is going to be a lot of fun. So we were looking at what Judge did last night, having his, up to this point, his signature moment as a Yankee.
Yeah.
And if they go on to win this series, I think it'll have a lasting effect on him where, I don't want to say the whole they would use a free agent. He became a Yankee that day. He became a Yankee a long time ago.
Right.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we started thinking about signature moments, and we said, we could be lame and tired and boring and just give you the top 5 signature moments in New York sports history. No. We wanted to take on something bigger than that. So what we decided to do, and this is going to create a lot of arguments, of the 4 major sports, 9 franchises that are represented in the 4 major sports here in New York.
Yeah.
Each team's signature moment. The moment that pops in when you talk about that team. That moment. Maybe it's a play, maybe it's a game, maybe it's a picture, maybe it's a statement. What is the signature moment for each franchise? Some of these are really hard and some are very easy. All right? So let's start with the New York Yankees.
Don Larson.
Don Larson's perfect game, I think, is the signature
You
moment.
agree.
It's a perfect game in the World Series, right? It's never been done before. A perfect game in a World Series.
Pretty good.
Now, the Yankees have a lot of them.
Now, can I give you another one?
Can you do better than that?
Reggie Jackson's 3 home runs. That's also in a World Series.
That is also in a World
Series. The third one is the one where
Series.
you're like, why the hell are you still pitching to him? It's a huge moment. It's Reggie, the Cosell call where he's just fell out of the press box. Couldn't wait to get, like, that's a, like, when you think of modern signature moment, Reggie Jackson, nobody, Don Larson's thing is more of like text in a book. Like you really don't know that other than Yogi jumping on his.
That's true.
Jumping on him, that famous video. But I think you can make an argument, but it's a perfect game in the World Series. Don Larson.
Now, for the Mets, all right, is there something, the 69 World Series, Mesa Mets, whatever, but
what
really
happened?
the one thing.
Anything in the 69 World Series?
There's a lot of
out?
things that happened, but the biggest moment, let's be honest, is the Buckner play, right? That's the thing that everybody thinks of. It's the most viral moment, right, that everybody thinks about. They're down and out, the big comeback, the ball goes between Buckner's legs. I still believe that Mookie beats it out. But
part of the reason why Buckner misplayed it was because the pressure he felt from Mookie.
Now, the game-winning run doesn't score, but they're still going extra innings. And I think the Mets would have won the game in extra innings, but you don't know. But it's the Buckner play, right?
Isn't it so Mets that it's a play that It's more an error.
It's crazy, but I listen. I'd like to.
What else
listen, you could say, well, I mean, Piazza's home run after 9/11 pops into your head.
That's a good one.
At the end of the day, it's a regular season game, but still, it was a big moment.
There's nothing.
Well, there's
Seaver.
a lot of Seaver. You know, Seaver had the near perfect game. The Quayle got the hit. There's you got the.
What about was it
Buddy Harrelson's fight with Pete Rose in '73?
Was it Agee's catch? Isn't that also like
but there's
a classic moment, right?
Had a big catch too, but
no,
the Buckner play.
Got to be gets by Buckner, right?
It's
all right. There you go. Gets by Buckner.
Pretty amazing.
All right. What else?
And again, the Mets won that World Series in 5. The Mets were down 3-2. They congratulated the Red Sox on the jumbotron. It was over.
There was champagne in the locker room.
Now, the Giants is interesting.
Ooh.
All right?
How far back you going?
Well, you could go far back. There's a lot of great moments. They dominated in '86. You want to say Norwood wide right. Right? But is there anything
be a signature moment?
The
missed field goal?
The helmet catch is such a big moment.
Feels
right?
iconic, doesn't it?
It is so iconic. It feels like too recent for the history of the Giants, but
was there nothing Lawrence Taylor did in '86?
Did a lot of
the Super Bowl, like something in the moment that just you will never forget. Here's the thing: if I can't think of it, so wouldn't it be a diehard fan is going to remember a million?
Well,
moments.
yeah, that's the thing.
The signature moment should be something that a casual should know.
Right. And listen, Lawrence Taylor was dominant. He was the defensive player of the year. All the things. He was MVP of the league.
Yeah. All right, helmet catch. I like it.
Helmet catch is now, and for the Jets,
well, it's
Super Bowl III, but the moment is Namath leaving the Orange Bowl waving
the guarantee.
The guarantee.
Yeah,
it's got to be right.
Yeah.
Now for the Knicks, there's really
Bart
two.
Scott's can't wait.
That's good, but it didn't result in a championship. Unfortunately, it did result in a championship game in Pittsburgh, but. All right, for the Knicks, there's really two.
Come on.
There's 94 with Ewing on the table, but really it's Willis Reed, right? Well,
it has to be.
That's the signature moment.
Yeah. Here comes Willis.
The Nets, it's tough.
Nets.
I'm not throwing no shade at the Nets, but is it the merger? They get into the league. But
you mean when they sold Dr. J to get into the league?
But the moment has to be, and listen, diehard Net fans will probably give me a play. And I remember I followed this. I covered a lot of these games, but I was not at this game. But they beat the Boston Celtics in Game 6, 96-88, to go to their first NBA final in 2002. They got swept by the Lakers, and some Net fans will probably appreciate the following year where they at least hung. I think they lost in 6 to the Spurs. But still, that was an unbelievable, iconic moment for the franchise to go to the finals for the first time.
Yeah.
And that's still, we could talk about everything that's happened since going to Brooklyn. And maybe I'm biased because I'm a Jersey guy, but those moments at the Meadowlands, and those were good teams, Van Horn and Kittles
and
team. Jefferson.
That kid-led team.
And Kidd was amazing.
That was a really good team.
It's hard. It's hard not to.
Really
with
good
that.
Team.
For the Rangers, it's got to be Messier's guarantee.
Do you believe? Do you believe? It's the guarantee.
It pained me at the time, but the empty netter to complete the hat trick. And I will still say, as big as Messier's moment was, and I've had Messier confirm this to me. I've asked him about it. The biggest moment in that Game 6 against the Devils was the Kovalev goal at the end of the second period. If Kovalev doesn't score at the end of the second, and the Devils take a 2-0 lead going to the third, the Devils are winning that series.
Yeah,
but Kovalev scores. The Ranger fans come alive at the Meadowlands. Messier gets his hat trick in the third period, win the game, and then they go on to win Game 7 with Mateau.
Well, I was going to throw in
Mateau
being the signature because it's the famous call.
It's all attached, though, right?
But it does all feel attached, but one doesn't happen without the other, of course, right?
The Messier guarantee.
So which one is
iconic.
the one that is the icon? Is
it
Messier?
Here's the thing. Stephane Mateau is going to go down in history for scoring that goal.
Yeah.
But Messier's the man. I mean, Marc Messier is bigger than Mateau. And his guarantee and his hat trick in Game 6, there is no Game 7. Right? So, and Mateau had a big overtime goal earlier in that series, too. But I think it's the guarantee.
You think it's guarantee? Okay. All right.
Now,
again, 800-919-3776. We definitely want to argue if you have better ones than the ones we're choosing here.
Now, the Islanders,
it's got
to be Bobby Knight.
It's Bobby Knight. 1980. It's again, Henning, Tonelli, Nystrom, 7-11 of overtime.
The fact that you were able to do what you did.
It's one of the most incredible memories of my childhood.
And it was the first of 19 straight. They already had one earlier.
The first of four.
The first of 4 straight, and then
which has never happened since, and probably will never happen again.
And in the midst of 19 straight, because obviously they had to win the 3 going into that series. And there's some. I wish you would kind of. If I was the commissioner of the NHL, we're going back to 1 versus 16. Because I want to get a Stanley Cup final.
They're playing
where you get
forget
Islanders Flyers. Can you just imagine getting like a Rangers Bruins Stanley Cup final? Or, that would be awesome,
tremendous.
Man. Or if you or for some reason if you were able to get like Flames Oilers Stanley Cup final.
Media travel wise, it's just it's phenomenal.
It would be great.
What's didn't we do this? The closest Stanley Cup finals would be, was it like Columbus versus like the Blues or something? What would be the closest possible Stanley Cup final now?
I don't think we ever did that, but that would probably be it, right? Columbus to St. Louis.
Wouldn't that be the one? Because it's got to be East Conference, West Conference. So that would be
question.
it, right?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I guess the closest we ever had was when the Red Wings were in the West and they played the Penguins.
That's
right in Pittsburgh's not that far.
Well, but it's not Philadelphia, New York, though.
No,
that's got to be the closest ever.
But it was East versus West. They didn't have it was Campbell it was 1 through 16.
Didn't Rangers play the Bruins in
back in 72?
72, yeah.
Well, that was different. So
are you kidding me?
We're never doing that again. All right, the Devil won. Mm-hmm. We had this conversation, and the easy answer is the Arnott goal in 2000 against the Dallas Stars.
Reunion Arena in Dallas. I was there.
You were there. Great feed from Eliash in the corner. Win the game in, I believe it was like double overtime.
Yep.
Win game 6. All right. Devils almost blew. They had a 3-1 lead. They had to go to Dallas for game 6 because they blew game 5.
That was a crazy
I'm
game.
going to give you a different one from a Devil fan perspective.
I respect it.
And even though you're going to say, really? They won 3 Stanley Cups. They've gone to 5 Stanley Cup finals. You're going there?
88.
I'm going John McClain against Darren Pang in Chicago. I'm going to say that's the signature moment.
Why?
It's the first time they ever made the playoffs. And it was amazing. As a Devil fan, the team never went anywhere. You went into the final weekend of the season. Hartford, those Pittsburgh, the Rangers, and the Devils, all trying to get that last playoff spot, the 4th place in the Patrick division. The Penguins beat the Hartford Whalers. They're still alive.
Mm-hmm.
The Rangers beat the Nordiques at the Garden. Afternoon game.
Quebec Nordique.
They're still alive.
Mm-hmm.
But on Sunday night, all the other games are over. Devils in Chicago to take on the Blackhawks. They had to win the game to go to the playoffs for the first time in franchise history.
They knew they controlled their fate.
They're in overtime. None of this 3-on-3 garbage. Yep. They're in overtime. All right? They tie. They don't go to the playoffs.
Right. 5-minute overtime.
And 5-minute overtime over at Chicago Stadium. God love him. Darren Pang between the pipes. And John McClain scores the goal, and the Devils go to the playoffs for the first time in their history. Gary Thorne with the call on Sports Channel. I'll never forget that. I still can't believe I'm going to be doing that job.
I can't wait.
Gary Thorne
calling those types of games.
Doc's the greatest, but Gary's so close. Gary is such an underrated announcer. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
And Thor is like, the Devils make the playoffs.
But when I
for the
said,
first
"Do you
time
believe?" That's his call on ESPN of Messier's hat trick. That's him. His call when he scored the empty net goal was, "Do you believe? Do you believe?" Because he was even saying, he called his own shot. And he had a natural hat trick. So, yes, Thorne is he's so good, underrated.
I'm going to go with that. Because all these years later, all these cups later, that's still a very special moment to Devil fans of a certain age.
So you call that the signature
So I'm going
goal.
to call that the signature moment.
All right.
So we're going to line all these up. Jake Montgomery's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, this is a lot of writing.
So just let us know what you think. 1-800-919-3776. Don Larson, the signature moment for the Yankees. The Buckner play for the Mets. Helmet catch for the Giants. Super Bowl III for the Jets. Willis Reed for the Knicks. The Nets beating the Celtics in Game 6 in 2002 to go to their first ever NBA Finals. Messier's guarantee for the Rangers. Bobby Nystrom for the Islanders. And John McClain's goal for the Devils.
I like this.
Let's hear it. And you know what? For the Yankee karma, because we want the Yankee karma, do this for me, Jacob. Because you can find it. It's on YouTube. One of Gary's greatest calls.
Oh, yes.
Coming up next on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
The Wiz has issued an upset alert. Number 1 Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, and BYU are all favored on the road. Someone is going down. Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz, on the Fine Line, Saturday at 8 a.m. In the NFL, KC faces another big test as they host the Lions. Plus, the Wiz talks baseball, soccer, and hockey winners. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz, Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummy she takes. How do I even know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how would I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Bally Bet Sportsbook. Yo, Bally Bet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Bally Bet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Bally Bet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Bally Bet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Now, we're just talking about Gary Thorne and how underrated he is. You know, he did baseball for a long time, White Sox, Orioles, but he also did playoff baseball in 95, and I think one of his best calls was this back in 1995. Almost, I got to look, maybe 30 years ago to the day. I got to look up. Let's listen.
3 of them by right-handers, 5 by left-handers. This one by Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the roof. Goodbye, home run. Don Mattingly.
How about that? 1995 Game 2 against the Mariners.
He had a way. He had a way. He used his voice in such a way that, oh, hang on to the way he just delivered that, you knew something incredible was happening.
And the game.
I got the date.
October 4th.
Okay. You beat me.
So almost 30 years ago. What's today, the 8th?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, today is the 30th anniversary of the Edgar Martinez double that won the game. Ken Griffey Jr. scoring from first base.
Yeah.
I think you bounce back nicely. And the Mariners are still hunting.
I told you. This is how sick I am. That I was so mad about losing to Cleveland in 97. Like, I was sick to my literally.
Coming off a championship.
No, I know, but it doesn't matter. That game, that was a late game, if I'm not mistaken. That ended late, and I'm living in Stony Brook. I don't know what to do with myself. It's late at night by myself. Like, I don't know what to do with myself. It's got to be almost midnight. I had a mountain bike, got on a mountain bike, and just went down 25A on Long Island. Ended up like in Port Jeff.
Really?
Just riding, just angry.
An angry ride.
just angry because it's hilly over there. People will tell you, live out there, it's hilly. And I'm just going, and I found myself like where the ferry dock is in Port Jeff going, oh, crap, I got to go back now. It's like,
well, it's not exactly, Forrest Gump at the Santa Monica Pier, but so how many miles did you go there?
Stop running. I don't know. I wasn't counting miles, just going.
No, but you know where you lived and where
Stony Brook to Port Jeff is not, it's not that far, but by bike, up and down hills at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. God. It's crazy. And then stop, get a beer at JK's, and then get back on the bike and go home.
I think you bounced back nicely to go on.
Yeah, but I was still mad. This is why a Yankee fan is psychotic.
No, because
you're just mad.
Because you know what? You're
hate Alamo.
Because I could, believe it or not, I can actually put myself in that situation. Because, you win a championship, you want to kind of back it up. Say, hey, there was no fluke.
Right.
I want to get another one.
That's right.
And you didn't get the chance. Hey, one of the hottest times for me was in 87.
Oh, that must have killed you.
In 86, Mets win the World Series. 87, they were decimated by injuries with the pitching staff,
right.
but they survived. And then they got a big series with the Cardinals late, and Terry Pendleton, it's a home run. And extra. I was just so. That's the thing. Everybody asks me, don't you hate the Braves? Don't you hate the Phillies? I still hate the Cardinals. They're not even in the Mets division anymore.
No.
Oh,
I hate the jersey. You hate the
Pendleton
color.
And Tommy Hurd, John Tudor.
Blonde hair.
Oh, my. I hated that. Oh, and Whitey Herzog. Oh, my God. I hated Whitey Herzog. God rest his soul.
No.
No,
man. The hell with Whitey Herzog. The hell with him. Bad guy.
I don't know if he was a bad guy. I just didn't like him.
I'm finding the date of this game because I had to laugh. What is that? October 6th. October 6th, 97. And I'm just fuming. Like, just.
What were you doing at that time?
Part-time at Newsday.
Yeah. Still,
just sitting there, just grinding, taking high school agate scores and putting them in the paper with no credit to my name.
Yeah.
Like I tell my friend, I write for Newsday. Do you, though?
Do
you really?
I don't see it.
Because you wrote a line. There's no name.
Like in Rudy. We turn on the Notre Dame games, and I see them playing. I don't see you. That's you work at Newsday. I'm reading all that.
My friends would
laugh. I see Steve Zapay. I don't see you.
Steve Zapay. Yeah, it's like, do you write for Newsday? Do you?
1-800-919-3776. Jose's in the Bronx. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Jose?
Hey, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Very good, man.
Can you hear me? I'm getting some
static. Oh, loud and clear, baby.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got a lot to unpack here. I'll tell you. So, born and raised in the Bronx. I had tryouts with the Mets, Baltimore, Minnesota Twins. I snapped my humerus bone like Dave Jarecki trying out for Fordham. My father played with Jose Cruz. And and my brother went to had a full ride to LIU. So I also did, Hahn, live in Long Island for 19 years. My father bought a house in Central Islip.
Nice.
You lived out there?
I lived there for a little while. I lived in CI. Yep.
Oh, well, CI. There you go. But some people say the original CI is Coney Island. Right?
Listen, the only CI I know is Central Islip.
There you go.
Coney Island's Coney Island.
A lot of players came out of Central Islip. Boy Barker, the Tice brothers, right?
You know who lived there? Randy Beverly from the Jets. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Yep.
Didn't know that. And I will tell you, I say that to preface this. There's a few things. I'm going to leave you, like I told Anthony, I have 2 jokes and one, I should say for Rosenberg, but I'm going to tell you anyway. But the way Judge hit that ball, I mean, you got to be kidding me, man. My father always told me, the hardest thing to do is hit a round ball with a round bat and hit it square. I mean, to get his hands inside of that and just turn on that pitch, it was aiming for his sternum at 99 miles an hour. You got to be kidding me.
It literally, they looked it up. The math tells you that no one's ever hit a home run off a pitch like that at that speed, 99.7, and that far off the plate.
And I think that's why it went as far as it did, because the velocity of the pitch.
He turned on that thing. Oh my God!
That was
there was no way. Like when you saw it going to the foul pole, it's like you're thinking to yourself, "There's no way the baseball gods are like something like this. That's just going to go foul and be uneventful. No, that can't go foul.
Yeah, it just
like the wind stuff. Like the Blue Jays, Don, because of all their fielding issues, they were complaining about swirling winds in the stadium. They were like, it was really swirly out there. Some of the issues that like what's his name had on that pop-up. And in that moment, even Boone said it. The flags were flat.
Yeah, it's just
the wind stopped.
It's one of those things that if you believe
you ever see
in that karma,
I do.
That you want to, because then you know what the result's going to be. All right, 1-800-919-3776. We've got ENN coming up at 6. We're taking it right up to 7 o'clock. We'll take you up to the Mets and to the Blue Jays. I got confused.
Boy. Wishful thinking, Donnie.
I'm looking down at Mets Buckner. Yeah, the Mets. They're on the back 9.
Yankees Blue Jays, Game 4. We have it here on 80.
Yeah, they're three beers into the 19th hole pub. Don Hahn and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. Do or die for the Yanks tonight in the Bronx. Game 4 of the division series against the Blue Jays. First pitch still a couple of hours away. Great ride at the inbound, George. No complaints for both the upper and lower decks. Rough ride on the Deegan northbound heading over to the stadium. Crash in the right lane right after Fordham Road. You're crawling there from the Macombs Dam Bridge. Outbound Lincoln and Holland tunnels just about 15 to 20 minutes each. Still have this accident on the belts eastbound in Brooklyn. A lane out by Coney Island Avenue. Traffic is jammed there from Bay Parkway. Packed on the Staten Island Expressway westbound heading over to the West Shore. Solid slowdowns from Slauson Avenue. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
A dime dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets. FanDuel.com/tickets.
Hey! My dad is bringing home the best birthday cake ever!
It was my 5th birthday, and my dad was bringing home the cake.
Should have been here a half hour ago.
The cake never made it, and neither did my dad. That was the day a drunk driver killed my dad.
Daddy?
Impaired drivers take lives. Think.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee. Aired in cooperation with the New York State Broadcasters Association.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for 3.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, Alan,
it's Tully time.
It's Tully time. Well, the Yankees look to avoid elimination for a second consecutive night as they face the Blue Jays in Game 4 of the American League Divisional Series. Coverage right here on 880 ESPN will begin after us at 7. Right now, the Tigers and the Mariners are tied at 3. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Seattle leads that series 2-1, so if Seattle wins, they advance. Tigers trying to force a Game 5 there. So we'll see if they can do that. And then just underway, the Brewers and the Cubs. Cubs are facing elimination. And then at 9 o'clock tonight, Dodgers and the Phillies. Phillies facing elimination. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
Also have Aces Mercury. Game 3 tonight, WNBA Finals.
Okay.
Be all-inclusive. That's on ESPN.
Got to time that better. You know, going up against baseball playoffs, I don't know what would be a bet. Can they time their season?
There's been talk that this league needs to be parallel with the NBA season. Be very difficult to do because of the arena availability.
They're probably thinking, because then you lose some fans, because there are probably fans of the WNBA that also follow the NBA. So why would you want to see? I think you could can't you do it to where you're playing your finals in November? Because then, all right.
Well, you don't want to do that because that's the start of the NBA season.
There's just got to be a way.
I agree.
It's tough. Like I said,
look, you're fighting football, which,
but you can at least strategically place.
But what you're thinking is, those aren't my fans. Like those aren't my customers, right?
Right.
That's what you're thinking. The baseball fan is probably not my customer. So you're not as concerned about going up against them.
And listen, the diehards are going to watch.
You want to get out of the way before the NBA season begins. And you want to get it done.
It probably doesn't affect the number that much.
Can't see it.
The only way it would affect the number is if this was last year, right? And the Liberty were playing a Game 3, going up against a Yankee elimination game. It would be really hard to get any attention.
Yes.
In your own city.
Well, remember, the Yankees were on, and the Mets were both on a run last year.
Right.
When the Liberty were on their run.
Yeah, it's, listen, you would like to be able to get some attention. Now, the cities that they're in, it the Mercury,
and Vegas.
Right, so there's nothing happening. There's no Vegas baseball team. There's the Diamondbacks aren't in it. So at least locally, you're going to get some love, and I guess that's what you're looking at. But of course, the Yankees, and just hoping that you're going to be able to put together the continuation of keeping it alive to Friday in Toronto for all the marbles.
You call this is must-win for obvious reasons because they're literally facing elimination. So I'm not saying this is a must-win and it's Captain Obvious stuff here, okay? We have a firm grasp of the obvious when it comes to must-win. But when you consider that you have Cam Schlittler, who was lights out a week ago, 12 strikeouts, gave you 8 innings, shutout ball, just a scintillating performance, you feel really good that he's going to continue that. The concern is that Toronto, as we saw with Rodon, that's 3 starters they were uber prepared for, and they knocked him out pretty quickly. Like, they knew everything. Yeah. They were very well scouted on all 3 pitchers, from Fried through Heel and obviously Rodon. So I'm curious to see early in the game, are they all over Schlittler too? Because if they are, then whoever's doing their scouting, their advanced scouting, should get a raise. So I want to watch that. But they're going with a bullpen game here. They don't have anybody available. Scherzer's not even on the playoff roster. There's no Bassett. There's no Berrios. They have nothing. So they have to go with a bullpen. Their bullpen has given up 12 runs in the last 9 innings. Their bullpen has not been good. The guy that they're starting was the guy that Varland, who's been great for them. The guy throws gas. He's the one that gave up the home run, not just the Judge, which he called a guy that made a really good hit, made a really good pitch look really bad. Mm-hmm. That's what he said about that home run. But don't forget, Jazz hit the go-ahead home run off him in the next inning. He's starting off the game, but the rest of that bullpen has been a disaster so far. The Yankees feel very confident against them. So when I say must-win, I don't mean it literally because it is literally a must-win. But you cannot lose. If you're going to lose the series, you can't lose it tonight. Not against a right? Not with a bullpen game.
No, you should.
Got like this. The sense of urgency is already heightened, but this is one of those like you cannot lose this game. So the feeling has to be very high that the Yankees force a Game 5. Just based on what you see here, they have smacked around that bullpen. Their bullpen's not great, and they have to go to it, even with using the bullpen last night. Schneider had to go to his bullpen because Bieber couldn't give them length, and he's got guys that pitched last night. He's got to pitch again that didn't pitch well.
Right.
So you need Schlittler to be good, and you have to hope that the Blue Jays don't also have the book on him like they have on your other starters, and then your offense has to continue to mash. And we'll have a Game 5 on Friday night. It's as simple as that.
Giancarlo Stanton spoke before the game today, and he talked about Judge's performance last night.
Yeah, it was incredible. Exactly what we needed. The reason I'm here right now, the reason why we have another game tonight. And, he stepped up when we needed him most, and, he'll be right there again today.
How about the crowd and team reaction to Judge's homer?
That was a cool one because no one really knew, you knew it was far enough to go out, but you didn't know if it was going to wrap the pole or not. So that's always a cool moment. You're bending with the ball a little bit until a big eruption of seeing it hit the pole. So it was cool. Just an awesome moment and huge for everything.
All right, in these playoffs, the Yankees 3-0 facing elimination. So how about that, Giancarlo?
Just knowing who we are, trusting who we are, and I guess we don't mind the hard way sometimes. Not ideal, but just being calm, being comfortable, and playing our game. Just not trying to do too much.
All right, Schlittler's going to make the start. So what are your expectations for him, Aaron Boone?
Regardless of what happens tonight result-wise, he's going to walk out there with a lot of confidence, expecting to be successful. I know that, and quite certain he probably slept really well last night. Can't wait to go compete. And so from my standpoint, there's some comfort in that, and knowing that if he goes out and has his stuff and executes, he's got a chance to have a really good night.
Is it any different than it was last week? Elimination against a divisional opponent. In your own building.
They've seen him.
So
back in July, but they saw him.
Now the stakes are the stakes any higher? I mean, I guess not really. I mean, it's a round deeper, but still it's a team that went to the World Series last year. They want to just survive to the next game. So he handled it last time, and there's no reason why he can't handle it this time.
Does it concern you though with what I'm saying?
That they've seen him already?
No. Not that. And I think it was the more recent series they saw him. The Yankee starters so far have given up 15 runs
in
8 innings.
That's a problem.
15 runs by 3 starters in 8 innings. Is that simply they didn't get good starts, or are they incredibly prepared for all the starters they knew they'd be facing in this series because they did have a week off and they were probably anticipating seeing the Yankees? Like, which is it?
Or just
wait, did you really get 3 straight guys were bad?
It's odd.
Heel, they knew was going to be the game
if
one.
They're prepared, they should be
he
prepared
didn't
for
get
that
out of the
bullpen.
third inning. Rodon didn't get out of the third inning. He gave up 6 runs. Fried looked like he wanted to be anywhere but that mound. They put a ton of pressure. Hey, Guerrero, next question. Do you even pitch to this dude?
It's got to be at the level where you don't.
Like, only if there's no one on base.
He's been just mashing it.
You have to respect him, right?
Because I like what Giancarlo said, and it's like, we believe we can win, but it's not ideal to fall behind. You'll still believe. We have a guy on hold we're going to get to, Marco, who said that he turned the game off at 6-1. We'll get to you in a second.
He's not the only one. I know somebody else that did that.
You won't do that today.
No.
But it's not ideal. It's not where you want to be.
It's
It's not where you want to live.
No.
You don't want to live in that kind of a situation. We were just talking about him. Let's hear from him. Marco, North Carolina. What do you got?
Officer, I'm here to report myself as fraudulent. Fraudulent activity.
All right. So, did you have to get up early? Like, what was what? I listen. 6-1, I get, but did you have to get up early? Was there something going on today? Did you have to get some sleep?
No. Honestly, it was like all the faith in Rodon and what they were looking at. Honestly, Don, you might enjoy this. I'm a 1984, just to give it up. I actually put on Porky's 2 yesterday night. I was watching.
Okay.
Porky's 2.
That's a nice pivot.
The second one.
Right. Where they do the Shakespeare play. Yeah, it is.
Correct. And it's actually very
You're going to make me go
for the
back
time
now.
that we are leaving.
Oh, my goodness.
Those are classics.
Yeah.
You're not going to be turning it off today.
No, not tonight. Tonight I will be glued to it, and I have all the faith in Schlittler to pull it up and go Yankees. Let's bring it back to Canada, and hopefully Fried will be able to pass the jeers that he had on the first one.
Friday's going to be off the hook. Thank you a lot, Marco. It's going to be off the hook on Friday if there's a Game 5.
Yes.
And you can't tell me
you got to want the mound that night.
That if you're the Blue Jays, if you're a Blue Jays fan, if you're the entire country of Canada, they got fans all over Canada because it's the only baseball team left. Montreal has been gone for 20 years already. That they're not going to be feeling it, and I think they could be feeling it tonight too. Just a sense of as confident as they might be, like we don't lose in Toronto, we don't lose to the Yankees in Toronto. They had to feel like going into that game last night, up 6-1. I'm not saying that's why they made the errors or why they lost the game, because sometimes that just happens. But to be up 6-1 in Game 3 of a series, you're up 2-0, and all of a sudden you've got to play in it. Now you're facing elimination, even if it's in your own building, even if you love the matchup because you hammered Fried on Sunday, you're going to be feeling it, man. And you haven't done anything in 30-plus years, all right? Like this is supposed to be your time. And also, no offense to the Tigers or the Mariners, but you got to feel like the team that wins this series
should go to the
they're
World
the clear
Series.
favorites in the League Championship Series to go to the World Series.
Yeah, you'd think so.
All right. Now, the Brewers, Dodgers, whoever makes it in the National League, they might end up being the favorites over either of these two teams.
They might win the whole thing,
you know, because neither of them have lost a freaking game in the postseason, for God's sakes. But right now, if you're the Blue Jays, with every passing moment that you don't end this Yankee season, you're going to start to feel it, man. You're just going to.
But do you? See, I hope we get to do this tomorrow and Friday especially, is the debate of if you're Toronto, who do you start? Gausman? That'd be the sixth time.
Yeah, but he pitched well enough. I mean,
it's just like he seems to own them.
I don't think they got many choices, do they?
Well, you're Savage. He's also available.
I understand.
And if Gausman can't get out of the third,
it's one thing to pitch.
They'll go to him.
It's one. No, they will do that.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
it's all hands on deck for both teams.
Absolutely.
But it's one thing to have him start Game 2, already up 1-0 in the series.
22-year-old.
All of a sudden now, go pitch and save our season.
You think that'd be a tough spot for a kid? Well, what do you think Schlittler's facing tonight? He's facing that tonight.
Just the fact.
Another legacy game tonight. Another legacy game.
Well, listen, if he goes out there and pitches the way he pitched against Boston. Now, it's a different animal. I mean, this is.
What do you want him? Hand the ball to who? Hand the ball to Devin Williams?
Well, it's the same formula, right?
Hand the
Even
ball
though,
to Devin
again, both of them gave you an inning plus yesterday.
Yeah.
See, these things are all connected. You know, we could talk about the karma and the mystique and all the things of the way they won last night.
Okay.
But the idea is I want Schlittler to get me to Williams in the 8th and Bednar in the 9th. That's the formula, right? But you are talking about Williams, who had to get 4 outs last night, Bednar, who had to get 5 outs last night. So I'm not saying they can't do it, but it's not ideal, right? It's not an ideal situation.
Back-to-back nights after a day off, I think we're fine.
No, I think, but they don't really like using Devin more than an inning.
And Bednar used to be a guy that didn't like pitching in consecutive games,
Well,
but
you know
they had to condition him for it.
But now these are playoff kids.
I want to have this conversation, Don. I want to be able to do it tomorrow and Friday.
Right.
So, got to get it done tonight. And you're facing their bullpen, which has been again, I'll tell you, it's 12 and a third total, but in the last 9 innings, they have given up 12 runs.
Raul in Harrisburg, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Don? How you doing today?
Good.
Thanks for
Good.
taking my call.
You got it.
Hey, I want to bring this up. I was a spoiled Yankee in '96, and my father was a Met fan. Now I'm bringing this up because of the conversation you guys had about the Yankees and their fans.
Mm-hmm.
Now, am I wrong? My father now is a Yankee fan, and during the years he became a Yankee fan because he wanted to make me happy. Is he wrong for that? Because I grew up watching Jeter in '96, and I appreciate what the Yankees have done, even if they didn't win the World Series. You know, and another thing is, like tomorrow, the people that have to call, just remember that what the Yankees do, no other team does. You know what I'm saying, Don and Hahn? Thanks for taking my call. I just want to, share my story of '96. I grew up spoiled, you know?
So your dad's, he jumped from one team to another.
Well, no, he wanted to make me happy. He was like, he was a Met fan. But then he saw, me chanting for the Yankees, the championship, because he wanted to make me happy over the years. So he said, I switched over the Yankees because of you, But his love was for the Mets, just like Don.
And Don now is rooting for the Yankees.
Stop it.
But Don is a Mets fan since a long time
right,
ago.
and Marco right now is on the fence. And my son, and I am not pushing him in either direction. I want this to be natural because I don't want to force him and then end up hating the sport. Because the only thing worse than him being a Yankee fan to me, being opposite of what I am as a Met fan, or him becoming an Eagles fan and me being a Giant fan, which is definitely on the table. Like I said, his best friend's an Eagle fan. The Eagles are good and the Giants stink.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing worse to me is if he doesn't become a fan of the sport. Like, wouldn't it be worse? Isn't it better for your son to root for the other team than him not be interested in the sport that you love?
So,
you know what I'm saying?
So at least he likes the sport, even if he has to like.
All right. So he grows up a football fan,
I guess
but
that's
he's an Eagle fan, and we go at it. I get it. Or I'm a football fan, and my son's like, "Why, Dad? We weren't watching this. I'm not interested. That would bother. I would rather. I think it's a lesser of two evils to me is him rooting
That's
for the other
probably
team.
why my parents tolerated me with the decision, because they're such big.
Because if I force him to be a Met fan,
I was a Yankee fan, but at least we did watch baseball a lot, and then hockey was the same thing. We watched hockey all the time in the house, even though they were Ranger fans and I was not.
But let's say I force him to be a Met fan against his will, and then he ends up souring on the sport and just says, "You know what? I'm not. That would bother me."
How do you force him to be a fan? He either cares or he doesn't, right?
No,
you can't force him to be a fan.
No, but I'm saying right now he's deciding between the two.
Right.
I could tell.
You could influence him, you mean?
Well, or just tell him, no, you're a Met fan, and don't let him watch Yankee games and only feed him Met information. I don't want to do that.
You'd be a bad parent.
No, whatever he asks, he's into. Listen, he loves hockey. Believe it or not, he still hasn't chosen a hockey team yet, because it's a lot. It was Rangers and.
Wait a second. His father.
I know.
The voice of the Devils.
Well, I told you he
will be a Devil fan before Thanksgiving. I'm calling it.
Well, that's the thing. You
gonna
have
hear
to, right?
you
That's one thing I can't tolerate. Is
he's gonna love it.
If I'm going to be doing these games and traveling, I got to know that he's interested. And I think
you got to be all in.
Although he loved the black jerseys, the one that said Jersey.
Did you get him a hat that says hat?
and the Devils gave him that jersey when he was a baby.
All right, so it's over. It's done.
But
it's locked.
This is the last year with those jerseys. They're killing it.
Which sucks.
They're retiring.
That's one of the best jerseys ever.
I know, but I like to. I'm not a big fan of the third jersey. They already got the.
It's just cool because it
Colorado
says
Rockies throwback. I know, and I thought that was funny with hat and scarf. And,
really
I thought that was actually showing a sense of humor. I thought that was pretty good.
Are you proud of me that I let Gracie become a Devils fan?
Because you think the way that I do.
And now she's even more in on the Devils because of you.
Oh, that's cool.
And now she knows that in the house, which at times, if she had the Devils on, if I would come home and something else was on, whether it was NBA or, maybe an Islander game or a Ranger game, I would always say, no, put that on instead. But now, because of you, she knows
that's awesome.
I'm not changing it.
And I think Marco, who said he would not congratulate me that I got the job until I did the game. I'm like, do you know something I don't? So I'm not sure if he's counting the preseason games. But a Saturday when I'm in Tampa, I think he'll be watching that game.
He will love it.
They got excited about the preseason, but it was the preseason.
Did he do the same thing when I was at Newsday? Oh, do you call the games, Dad? Because I haven't heard it yet.
But it's preseason. Don't they take people off the street to do preseason? No.
You're trying out? Like the players? You're trying out?
Let's go to Fred in the Bronx. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Fred?
Gentlemen, a couple of things. Number one, a lot of parents groom the kids from birth, and it never even occurs to the kids that there's a choice. If you're a member of this family, you're a Giants fan, or you're this, or you're that.
No, I think the majority of people do that, but aren't you afraid, Fred, that they might resent you for it and maybe not be as big a fan as they should because of it?
I agree. I'm just saying that's very, very common.
Oh, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be that guy. I want it to be natural.
And two quick comments.
Yes.
The Mets 76 championship, ABA closed down the
last
league
one.
Championship.
See, I offered that.
Alan did bring that
I
up.
offered that, but it comes with an asterisk, of course, because that's when the merger happened, and the Nets' success was a big part of the reason why they did the merger. The problem is that the owner was such a cheapskate. To pay all the money, he sold Dr. J to the Sixers, which is like, why the hell are you going? Why would I absorb you as a team without Dr. J?
Yeah, that was bad.
And the only other iconic moment, and Don, you tell me if you could think of any team that has it, anything comparable, is when Jacquemin returned to the Garden with the Red Wings, and the entire Garden stood up for 3 hours and chanted his name.
Yeah, it's
that's signature.
That is a signature moment, and I can't think of when did that ever happen. Like, I guess when Saquon came back to MetLife.
Was it like that?
It wasn't like that, though.
No, that was different.
Because as big as Saquon was, he wasn't Eddie Jacquemin. Eddie Jacquemin had been there a long time, was in the Stanley Cup final in 72.
Yeah. And the fans were mad.
They were mad.
That was emotional. So we had a suggestion.
Did you see what Lundqvist did last night?
No.
They're showing
the jerseys, by the way. Oh my God!
Yeah, there's people that don't like them.
No, those
I
are
like
awesome.
them. The way they played leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah,
but, leave that for another day. But they showed Hank on the jumbotron as they are to do when he's at the game, and you see he's holding the jersey that the Rangers wore last night, the Centennial jersey, and he holds it up and turns it around, and it's a Jacquemin jersey. That was cool. It was a pretty cool moment. Of course, for people who don't know, we lost Eddie last month.
We had a suggestion from somebody on Twitter, Ed McCormick.
Hey, Ed.
He said that he liked our list about signature moments, right, that you were just mentioning. And he said that it sparked an idea for another list, the top worst signature moments for each New York team. Now, teams like the Jets and the Mets, like you'll argue over what ones, right?
Right.
I say butt fumble for the Jets. Nothing more signature than that. National TV, just a hilariously bumbling moment.
It kind of just represents everything. If you need a play that just represents
what's
everything.
The Jets? That's the Jets right there. So that's easy. But is there, could you do it? Is there one for?
No, I think diehard fans would be able to do this more than we could. I mean, for the Giants, it's the miracle at the Meadowlands. It's Herman Edwards.
Oh, Herman Edwards, yeah.
that that turned the franchise around in a positive way because everybody was gone after that season, and then George Young comes in and changes everything.
Okay.
I mean, what would be the Nick one?
When Frederick Weiss was dunked on by Vince Carter in the Olympics.
Would have never happened if
months
they didn't
after he was drafted
by them.
That's one of those where you know what that was? That was the harbinger for what was coming for the next decade. Because it was 2000. They were still a good team. They got to the conference finals.
I know.
Like, you didn't think anything.
No,
but if that moment told you what was coming for the next 10 years, that was it.
Is the net one Durant's foot on the three? Even though they were a good team, but like everything, if that's a 3-pointer. Whoop-de-damn-do that's good.
Derek Coleman.
That's a really good one.
That'll last forever. Whoop-de-damn-do.
And then the Islanders, there could be a bunch of them, but
oh my God.
Milbury called Ziggy Palfy's agent. There's a village missing an idiot.
Oh, the village idiot line. Well, how about gutless puke?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Gutless puke from Milbury. There's a lot of probably Milbury moments that could be.
That's a fun one. Maybe we can do that next Wednesday.
Maybe a Yankee one.
The swapping the wives. I don't know. There's got to be someone.
There's a Bronx Zoo moment somewhere.
1-800-919. Well, maybe Reggie going after Billy Martin.
Oh, well, Billy Martin taking Reggie off the field,
right? And then they getting at it in the dugout. That's there's a bunch of them. We're having some fun, but the Yankees obviously the focus. 1-800-919-3776. Anthony Pusick led ENN at 6. Take you up till 7 o'clock, and then it's Yankee baseball here on ESPN New York.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Rick to download the FanDuel app today and get started. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here. The only question is, are you ready to play? Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rosenberg.
If your gut tells you that Aaron Glenn's not the guy, it's why when you're a dysfunctional mess, especially in this city where no one has any patience at all, you would lean towards, hey, let's get someone that's actually done it before.
To have the question of, is this guy completely in over his head, is a fair question.
It's the risk that you run when you hire someone that's never been a head coach in the NFL before.
DiPietro and Rosenberg, morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works, with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Another must-win for the Yanks tonight in the Bronx. Game 4 of the division series against the Blue Jays. Doing better on the Deegan northbound. They cleaned up that crash over by Fordham Road. Now just heavy heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound. George, southbound said some pockets of slowdowns heading in that direction from the Mosholu on down. Inbound George about 10 to 15 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride about 15 to 20. Outbound Hahn already at 20 to 30. Bumper to bumper on the BQE eastbound in Brooklyn. A broken down work van in the right lane by Metropolitan Avenue. Add that to the volume, some solid delays from the inbound Gowanus. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
A happy birthday to Steve Brzezinski today. So hopefully he's having a good time. If I know him, he's half in the bag by now. But sober up for the Yankee game, man. Make sure you don't want to miss that. It's going to be a big deal. Cubs-Brewers tied at 1. Brewers had bases loaded, nobody out in the first, only scored 1. Cubs have first and second, nobody out, already a run in on a home run. So Suzuki's up with a chance to give the Cubs a lead. They're facing elimination. Tigers up 7-3, so the Tigers can force a game 5 back in Seattle.
Bottom 7. Matthew brought up one, like we were thinking about the negative signature moments in franchise history. How could I not think of this? Reggie's choke gesture. That's a signature negative moment.
Yeah, that's not good.
Not good.
We got a Net fan who, JM, says signing KD and Kyrie away for the Knicks. Super humiliating moment, and they'll always have that bragging right.
That?
Even though it didn't lead to anything.
Well,
so I guess he's talking from a Knicks perspective, I guess.
All right. Maybe it's from a Knicks perspective. Because if you're a Nets fan, winning at Boston to get to the NBA Finals,
right?
That's a pretty significant moment.
True, and then unfortunately, the Kyrie and Durant thing,
it just never materialized.
It's got to be more frustrating than anything else.
No, it just never happened. And you could argue that if his toe wasn't on that line, and that's a 3 for the win instead of a tie for overtime, does Giannis and the Bucks ever even get to the finals? Did the Nets end up getting to the finals? Did they win the title that year?
Wow. And then it would have been all worth it.
Yeah.
Now, John Schneider, the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, was asked about the availability of Yasavage and Gausman tonight in this Game 4.
I think probably Trey more than Kev tonight. You know, Kev's going to throw lightly off the mound here this afternoon. Trey won't. But I think that you got to kind of see how the game goes and see what the score is, see where they are in their lineup, who you have available in addition to Trey or Kev or really anyone. So we'll see how the game goes, you know, and I think that, again, one of those guys may factor in.
I'm surprised that he's even entertaining the idea.
Well, is this now mental warfare? Is this sort of just put it in the back of their minds that I could pull this trump card out at any moment?
I guess, and maybe you feel the need to do it, but unlike the Boston series, where the Red Sox had their opener in the elimination game, in the Game 3, Toronto's got their opener tonight, which means they've got their best pitcher in the building they never lose waiting on Friday. as much as you want to avoid Friday, it's not the worst thing in the world for the Blue Jays if there is a Friday. All right? The Red Sox knew in Game 2. I can't have a Game 3.
They should prepare for Friday, right?
Yeah.
Like they should, because at worst, they're going to have a game on Friday. So you should prepare for it. And Gausman being available, which it sounds like Gausman probably won't be available tonight, but he's just leaving it. You never know. Maybe one way. But Savage, he threw 78 pitches on Sunday, and he didn't really look like he struggled.
Is it a case of? I'm not using both of them, but is there a case where I could say, I need a big inning, and I'll use Gausman knowing that I've got Savage to pitch Game 5?
Well, I think it's the other way around. I think it's the other way around. I think he looks at it as because Savage is supposed to throw anyway today. Mm-hmm. So if I need an out, let's say they bring in Rice. Rice couldn't handle anything that kid was throwing, right? Like it's a matchup situation in a big moment. Would he say, all right, I can bring him in to throw? I need an inning or I need an out or whatever it is in a big spot. Can I go to this guy because they can't touch him? One out. One inning.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's keeping in his pocket, knowing Gausman can start Game 5.
Right, and I need a backup tonight because I got an opener, so I'm going to be in my bullpen. Yeah. I shouldn't need somebody to back up Gausman in Game 5. Certainly not a 22-year-old. No. So I'm going to bring in the kid tonight if I need to get 3 outs based on how he pitched. 5 and a third, no-hit ball.
Right, high leverage situation of the game. Maybe you're trying to protect the lead. I don't think if the Yankees are winning, he doesn't come in the game. I think he comes in if this is a 1-run lead and it's like the 7th or 8th inning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big out. I got to get it, and they can't hit this kid. They can't see him. I'll use him here. That could be.
Now,
that's what
I'll ask the same question that I asked yesterday. So what's Fried's availability tonight?
It's a great question.
Now, it's another day. You can't count on Game 5 if there's not going to be a Game 5. So, if you deplete your bullpen,
it's Heel that should be available tonight.
No, I
not Fried.
I agree with you.
I'm need
just
Fried
saying,
for Game 5.
And listen, why would you want to go to Fried? He got racked in Toronto.
Plus,
but maybe it was because it was Toronto. I'm just saying it's all hands on deck, right? If we're in the 16th inning and I got nobody, Max Fried's pitching, right? That's just got to be the way that it is. Let's go to Frank in West New York. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Frank?
Hey, guys. Good afternoon. I actually got 3 moments that I wanted to bring up and see what you guys think of them. The first one, how about that year that Peyton Manning came back to Indianapolis and the Indy crowd was really cheering the man on a year after he got released cut from the Colts and then signed with the Bronx?
I don't remember it. So it wasn't impactful to me, but I'm sure the place was going nuts. But were they cheering for him to win? I don't remember.
They were cheering for him out of respect because they were grateful. I mean, they had a tribute to him and everything, and they were grateful for his years in Indy and how he was able to bring up the football team and make Indianapolis football evangelist.
Yeah, and I listen, Frank. I don't know if you're a hockey fan, but in '75. The Ranger fans were cheering Red Wing goals. They wanted Jockerman to win the game. That's what made it so rare. What was your other one?
Well, there's other 2, and these are a pain for me to bring up. Second one was when Deshaun Jackson did the walk-off punt against the Giants after the Giants blew a big lead, which, being a long-time Giants fan, is something the Giants tend to do.
Mm-hmm. That was
and then the third one was the Giants in 2003 in San Francisco for the wild card game where they blew a 24-point lead against the 49ers.
Oh.
And the worst thing about that year was if the fans paid attention and remembered, the Giants' special teams was horrible that year. We kept missing field goal attempts, extra point attempts all year round. So when it came time, I was panicking when we came close to field goal range because I knew there was a low probability of actually converting a field goal.
And then the no pass interference, the trade drunken thing, and the thing I remember about that game. I've told this story, but I don't know if you've ever heard it. I'm doing a show on ESPN after that 49er game. Got to do a show.
Of course.
And at that time I videotaped every Giant playoff game. So I'm taping the game to keep, and I'm thinking I'm going to keep this forever because they're up big. I smashed it on the air. I don't know if we still have the recording.
Oh, you went Rosenberg.
And I made myself so sick that I got like I had like 3 kids. The next day, we went to. I don't want to say the restaurant because I love the restaurant, but it's not. We went to a place on 7th Avenue.
Okay.
Had wings.
Mm-hmm.
Got like food poisoning. Sick that night. Woke up, back pain. They found 3 kidney stones. It was my whole body just betrayed me.
Just shut down.
And another interesting thing, I think the Devils were playing that day. So they weren't playing, but I was having a conversation for some reason with John Hennessy, who was the Devils radio play-by-play guy, who's a big Giant fan, and he was telling me the Devils were going to be in Tampa. That's where the Giants were going to play. So he was actually making arrangements to stay an extra day, because the Giants are playing. And then as he's making the reservations, they blow the lead, and that's something you'd never do again. That was a really bad one. What was the other one that he had? The signature.
No, the Deshaun Jackson.
That one was happening as I was doing the Jets pregame show because the Jets were a 4:00 game, and Greg keeps saying, "What are you worried about? They're going to win this game. Stop! They're going to win this game." And then they lost the game, but they won the Super Bowl the next year. So you
got over it pretty quick.
I got over it pretty quick.
It's like me in '97.
Right, you got over Le Mans, the 24 hours of whatever you did, the Tour de France, the Tour to Long Island that you did.
I swear, I don't know how I was like, what am I doing here? Let me get on the ferry. Go to Connecticut.
And now the business is like you'll never get that mad again because the business is
it sucked all the joy out of it.
Yeah, well, the joy and
the anger
and save some of that too. Claude and Queens, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, Claude?
What's up, fellas? Charles Smith getting rejected 5 times.
That's pretty good.
That's a good one.
Oh, my God.
Poor guy.
It looked like the smart kid in class trying to do a layup amongst the jocks. It was horrible.
That's one.
Skinny arms.
You're going to tell me that's more signature, though, than Reggie just turning with his hands on his throat?
Didn't it happen like the same year?
No, it feels like it, but that was 3 years later. Yeah, that was 3 years later.
Listen, there was some bad moments, but that's a good one. I like that one.
Or 2 years later.
The other thing I wanted to comment on was turning my kids off to baseball. I feel horrible because they both do not like baseball at all. I try to convince them by offering food and the lobster rolls, all that stuff. They won't go to a Met game with me. And
I'll go to a Met game with you if you offer me a lobster roll.
Yeah,
I'll go.
I forced them to be Met fans. I think it was when they were in the 4 to 5 year old age.
Not too early.
And they had jerseys, and they were too itchy, and they insisted that it was itchy, and I forced them to wear it to the game.
Yeah, you tried too hard.
Trying too hard, bro.
You know what you want to do when you're a dad?
Got a cotton shirt, it would have been fine.
It's surprising.
Good night.
Good night. Okay. It's very surprising that he forced things on people.
Yeah.
You'd never think that from the phone call. No, the worst thing you can do as a dad is tell them this is what you should be doing. What you want to do is look like you're having such a good time. They want to be part of it.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. If they see you caught up in it and into it, and it looks like dad's having a great time, what's he doing? That's when they climb up on the couch and
I told
sit
you that
next
moment.
to you and watch and just start.
Yeah.
That's what Zach did. One time he climbed up the couch, sat next to me, just started watching. I was like, all right, he's into it.
I told you that moment when the Giants played the Cowboys. Like Marco was legitimately into it because I was legitimately into it. He got caught up in it, and then he immediately wanted to go out in the yard and play football after that.
It's what a moment.
That's but
gotta love it.
That's the kind of natural stuff that you want to see, and that's why it makes sense that
you'll sit there and you'll cheer for this team.
Is don't do anything.
No.
Like Alan said, just root for your team, and your son or daughter will gravitate to that. When you start forcing them, then I
kids
think
always
it's not
gravitate to where the fun is.
Course.
What's fun? Looks like dad's having fun. What's that, Dad? What are you doing?
Yeah, but unfortunately, if the team's
losing,
losing, he's not having fun. Right. Dad gets angry when the Mets are on, so I'm going to watch something else.
I told you what Callie said, right? She walked in, just happened to have the Jet game on Sunday. And so whatever misery was going on. And she just walks in and stops, and she goes, the Jets are just sad. And then she turned around and left the room. And I'm like, well.
And she doesn't like
encapsulated
sad.
It.
Nobody's a fan of sad.
No.
1-800-919-3776. Let's get the phone calls going. Also, we've got ENN at 6. It's always great when Anthony Pusick does it. We're taking up until 7 o'clock, and then it's Game 4, Yankees Blue Jays from the stadium on ESPN New York.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. Now, they converted my kids' bathtub to a shower and did an incredible, really an unbelievable job. They offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit done in just one day. Durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and lower cost than a standard replacement. And a lifetime guarantee. Right now, no money down, no payments, no interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today like we did at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
This is the Michael Kay Show.
Here's the thing that worries me the most. The Yankee bullpen right now is in shambles. You have two pitchers that right now you could trust. Two pitchers. Devin Williams and David Bednar. That's it. Fernando Cruz not throwing strikes. You either have to straighten out Weaver or you're in trouble because you can't win and get to a World Series with two relief pitchers.
The Michael Kay Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off and to wear a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummies she takes. How do I even know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how would I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team. Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummy she takes. How do I even know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how will I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
Well, maybe the Yankees are looking at a miracle to come back from 2-0 down, but they can't feel like winning Game 4 would be a miracle. That's why you got to feel good.
But you need miracles to get you to make comebacks and go on a run. And like I said, it just felt like from Schlittler last week, that was a little magic, right? A young pitcher just having a day like that, walking off the mound, handing the ball off to the closer, basically. Like that. That's a special performance. Judge home run last night. That's a magic moment. That's special. All right, so that's 2 now. So that's what you want to see is like, okay, is this going to lead into something? So part of a run that has some magic to it would be coming back from being the only other team. And by the way, the other team is you in 2017 to come back in a best of 5 from down 0-2. You know, they do it again. Now it'll feel like magic. So that's what you want to see. And tonight doesn't need to be a magical night. Tonight just needs to be the night where you do what you expect to do against their bullpen, which has been bad, and see what Schneider does with your Savage. But your offense should carry you tonight, hoping that Schlittler is just good, doesn't need to be great.
Right. And clearly there's the home field advantage that you have. And the fans and give the fans credit. Down 6-1, you know, they're not leaving. This isn't L.A. They're hanging in there, and I think they affected the game too. And so I'm sure the Blue Jays, I'm not saying they've lost confidence in themselves. It's only one loss for them, but another one, even going back to Toronto, they don't want to get on they want to get on that plane and prepare for the winner of Detroit and Seattle. They don't want to go back to Toronto having to play a game. That's the last thing they want to do, but it's looking like it could happen with the way the matchup is set from a pitching standpoint and the way the Yankee bats came alive. And more importantly, the way the Yankees bullpen came alive. Because I understand what Alan was saying earlier in the show, that the karma of the moment made you feel like the Yankees were not losing after the Judge home run. But looking at the history, it's 6-6 in the 4th. So there's a lot of baseball. You're already into the bullpen. You're thinking
it was only
we might have to win. We might have to win this game 19-18. You know, something crazy.
Yeah.
And the Blue Jays did not score another run, and the Yankees tacked on 3. So
I said it before, and I'll say it again for those who are just joining us now. The Judge home run tied the score, but it felt like it won the game.
Yeah, it felt like it. But with all that, I guess you would have been. I'm thinking, all right, are they going to be able to hold this, or is it just going to be that? I'm thinking the Yankees winning this, but the Blue Jays are going to score more runs, right? Funny. They scored 6 against the starter. This bullpen has not been great.
No, but the Jazz home run feels like it's just swept under the rug. I mean, that was an absolute rocket that he hit to right.
And
that's really, the one that gave them the 7-6. That's the one where now, all right, now they got the lead. The first, the first lead they've had in this series. They finally got a lead.
And I think
And nobody talks about Jazz's home run.
They rallied around facing elimination, but also rallying around their captain that came through. And you can't have that kind of a home run and that kind of a moment and it come in a loss.
Right.
You know, so maybe you don't win the series. We'll see. A lot has to happen, but at least on that night, you know what? You were not going to be denied. Let's go to Steve in California. You're on ESPN New York.
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking my call, because yesterday after I hung up, you guys were pretty rough on me, accusing me of being that fan, and I am anything but.
I refresh my memory. What was it?
You were mad at everybody, right, yesterday?
No.
What were you saying? I'm trying to remember.
Wasn't mad at all. So I was saying, if you're looking to build a team, I look at the Blue Jays being a better constructed team than the Yankees.
Right.
Okay. So now a little bit of context. I started watching baseball in 1960. I was at Yankee Stadium the day Roger Maris hit his 61st home run.
Wow.
I watched the birth of the Mets. I watched the 69 Mets in high school on Long Island when they first had daytime games because they didn't have nighttime baseball, and them stopping school for the 69 Mets to be able to show. And everybody talks about the 86 Mets, and nobody brings up that series they played against Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to go to the World Series, which was the most nail-biting back-and-forth series, which is what the Yankees are going through now. And what I was saying yesterday is that if I'm building a team, hey, listen here, Brian Cashman, I want guys who play plus defense at every position. Now, they may have guys, because at the trade deadline, he gave himself a lot of functional players who he can move around and play here and there.
Yeah, McMahon, Caballero.
Amazing being able. Yeah. So what I thought of when the home run was hit last night by Judge was my first thought was Jason Giambi. And when that happened, I was talking on the phone with my now ex-wife at the time. The Yankees were down 4-0 to the Red Sox. And I remember she's on the phone, we're talking, I said, how's the game going? I said, we're down 4-0. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. And in that instant, Giambi hit a 2-run home run. It's now 4-2. And I said to her, it's all right. That was the momentum shift. The game is in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if what Judge did last night is for them to go on the run you guys are talking about. Maybe they do have those guys who play plus defense all around the corners. And so...
Well, how did their defense look last night? Like, think about it. Toronto's defense was spotty.
That's what opened the door.
Yeah.
Right?
IKF kind of let you know that they were a little shaky. And then their Barger, that was a disaster between him and Schneider.
No, that was awful.
That's and Santander, we don't talk about that either.
No, that was
face plants on that one.
That was, I don't know what was going on. See, that's the thing that gets lost in the Judge home run. The Judge home run doesn't happen if the Yankees don't after it's 6-1, they immediately come back the next inning and they tack on a couple of runs.
Yes,
it could have been a bigger inning, but they got two. They always, ever since I've been starting to watch baseball, whoever's announcing the game, if I go back to Lindsey Nelson back in the day, it's always like you always want to have that shutdown inning right after you score a bunch of runs, right? Like when they went up 6-1, if they could have gotten a shutdown inning, even a couple more, it changes everything. But if the Yankees to come right back, make it 6-3, it makes you feel like we're not going away.
By the way, he was at the Maris 61 home run.
Yeah.
My mother was there, too. She was actually in right field.
Really?
She was a couple of rows away from Sal Durante.
So she could have.
Could have, yeah, but didn't. We could have.
She just didn't want it bad enough.
Didn't want it bad enough. She didn't want to be. She wanted to be the Karen that came over and ripped it out of his hands.
Well, God.
But what a story that was, right?
If we were the animals then that we are now, he wouldn't have made it.
She said everybody just applauded when he caught. Everybody was like, "Hey, lucky you!" Instead of like today, people be fighting each other for that ball. Pay for his wedding.
That's right.
Yeah,
I remember because I saw 61.
My mom was right there. Didn't catch the ball.
I think Howie Carpin was out there too. I think if I remember. I think him telling me that. I think I remember that.
Everybody was there.
Well, but the building was like half empty.
I know. But she was there.
But it was just different.
She was there.
Millions of people claim that they were there.
My mother's a saint. She doesn't lie.
ESPN is next. Here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter to download the FanDuel app today and get started. 21 and over in Fisley, Present, New York. First online, real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of the night. Must win for the Yanks in the Bronx. Game 4 of the division series against the Blue Jays. First pitch just a little over an hour away. Heading that way using the inbound George. Stick with the lower deck about 10 to 15 minutes. Upper level about a 15 to 20 minute ride. Deegan northbound just a bit heavy heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound George. Southbound side, you're packed hitting the brakes from the west 230s. Outbound Lincoln already about 15 to 20 minutes. Outbound Hahn 20 to 30. Slow crawl on the Cross Island northbound in Queens. Crash in the left lane by the Bayside Marina. Traffic is pretty much at a standstill from the LIE. Not so great in Rockland County. Northbound Thruway, a big accident right before the Garden State Parkway connector. Jam there heading into Nanuet from the Tappan Zee Bridge. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting.
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Peter Rosenberg!
6:01 in the big city. Don Hahn and Rosenberg with you another hour, and then it's Yankee baseball. I was so excited to do the show today, knowing we were going to talk about a big Yankee win and get into all the sports of it all on a big Wednesday with a list. But I said, you know what, I'm also looking forward to 6 o'clock where my friend and colleague, Anthony Pusick, is doing ENN. How are you, buddy?
Aw, that's nice of you, Don. How's everybody doing?
It's a hard-working man.
Because I don't feel like I got the full Pusick experience today.
You didn't get the full Pusick?
Because
Interesting.
I had to go around the block like 20 times to find parking, so I didn't get here till after 2 o'clock.
And you weren't here for when Jacob got yelled at.
Yeah, Jacob got yelled at. There's a whole meeting, and they actually had.
You didn't get yelled at.
No, but
you were probably given the gold star.
I
Jacob
came
out like he got read the riot act.
I was going to have lunch in Winthrop's office like we always do, like gentlemen, and the door was closed, and I'm just seeing Winthrop just berating Jacob.
I don't think that
and I'm like,
happened.
this is ridiculous. And
honestly,
I'm very surprised that Jacob's still there on the other side of the
block.
bar.
Jacob, is this true?
He came out looking like. Did you see how he looked like? He had no confidence at all.
Yeah.
He needed a little bit of a pep talk.
So, but he's bounced back and he's done very well. I don't know what was behind that. And then
Jake needs a night out.
And then Anthony Pusick, we didn't get to see much of him. And then and now it's all of a sudden 6 o'clock. It's like I'm seeing you for the first time. Very busy
I was cutting Mike Sullivan sound from today.
Why?
Just to feel something.
Yeah, I was going to say more cuts than goals scored.
That wasn't hard. All I had to do was just hit click.
Couldn't someone else do that?
Well, yeah, for sure.
But you needed to do it.
Admittedly, I lost track of time. I told Jacob yesterday, before the games, I said there's a very good chance the Rangers annoy me more than the Yankees did. And they did.
Nailed it.
And they did.
So just before you get started.
Hi.
This is kind of what ENN's about.
Why not?
How much TV time did the Rangers get last night?
They were on the laptop.
Okay.
All right. How much of your attention?
It's kind of easy. It's much easier to look up and see a pitch.
Huh.
And, well, now, granted, I could have said when the Rangers were in the offensive zone, and in that case, I wouldn't have had to watch much of the game at all. That was bad.
That was a tough night.
Now,
he hate watches his team.
And granted, it actually wasn't that hard to be more annoyed by the Rangers because the Yankees we saw this script 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
It ended better than it did the first 2 times.
Yes.
But I was like, oh, starting pitcher gets rocked. Yankees down big. Not great. Seen this one before. That's not good. Let's see what the Rangers look like. Oh, still can't get out of their own zone.
How do you both feel about, all right, 1-0, 2 minutes to go, pull your goalie, offensive zone face-off. They score, it's 2-0.
Keep pulling the goalie?
Why?
Because it worked so well the first time.
Now it's 3-0. Like, what are we doing?
I thought you were going to ask, like, pulling the goaltender late. It's only 1-0, and I think they pulled it. What was it, like 2 and
It was 2 and change.
2 and change.
Yeah.
Patrick Waugh started doing that with like 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's his thing.
I don't like it.
He started that.
Here's what I wasn't on this game like I would if I was working it. It was weird. It was weird that there was a Ranger game and I had nothing to do with it.
It was bizarre.
Felt nothing.
If I'm dominating faceoffs and I'm getting an offensive draw and I figure I want to take advantage of this opportunity, but sometimes I think it's just I've seen it too many times, especially with the Rangers, where 2.5 minutes to go, you pull the goaltender, you lose the faceoff, and bang, now there's 2:12 to go, and now you're down 2 goals. It's like, could you wait a little while longer?
It almost feels like
probably going to get another faceoff at some point.
It feels like you shorten the game, right?
You do.
Like you feel like you shorten
it's like
the game.
going for 2 the possession before the last possession. Like, why am I ending the game now?
Yeah.
But it didn't matter.
Never.
Well, the game was close by definition because it was only 1-0, and it was.
But they didn't get any shots.
They didn't. Miller and Panarin looked like they hadn't played in about 2 weeks, which they haven't. And Sullivan admitted yesterday and today that there is some getting used to the system. Now the players deny that, but they said that there's going to be some getting used to this new system and how they do things. We'll see what happens in Buffalo. I'm certainly not deading them for the season. It just wasn't a nice look at the opening.
Well, let me just say this.
Tigers win.
Just quickly.
This
Back
Rangers
to Seattle.
report.
Tigers when they win.
By.
I will just
better help.
I'll leave it here, and then we'll get to the meat of it.
Please.
Is that last year on opening night in Pittsburgh, you won 6-0 and didn't go to the playoffs.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So maybe the opposite happens this year.
Maybe. This is interesting, and the reason that I was shocked when the sounder started for ENN was because I saw something online that I think, based on what we talked about yesterday, needs to be discussed. We talked about Shams' report about the Knicks and Bucks engaging in conversation. Alan mentioned that it was brief conversations in August about a trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Well, Giannis heard those things today, and he had media availability, and he talked to the media about the report.
I'm here, so all the other extra stuff does not matter. I think I've communicated with my teammates, communicated with the people that I respect and love, that the moment that I step in on this court or in this facility, I wear this jersey, the rest does not matter. Okay. I'm locked into whatever I have in front of me. Right. Now if in 6-7 months I change my mind, I think that's human too. You're allowed to make any decision you want, but I'm locked in. I'm locked into this team, I'm locked into these guys, to this group, and to my coaching staff and to myself.
Bucks fans felt really good till about the last 10 seconds of that.
Yeah.
I'm here. By the way, his accent's off the charts.
It's amazing.
Top 5, right? Top 5 athlete accents.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Top 5.
It's a good list.
So it's like, come on.
So.
You can listen to him just talk because he's very articulate. He's very thoughtful.
Oh, that was thoughtful.
Incredibly heavy accents. But meanwhile, he's letting you know, I'm here and I'll give you all I got while I'm here. But if I want to change my mind, don't get mad at me.
And by the way,
he said 6 or 7 months, which tells me next summer.
Which, that's the right thing to say.
Well, yeah.
He says, I'm here. I want to be here, and as long as I'm here, I'm here.
But it's all about
6-7 months
winning.
from now.
Yeah, it's all about winning, so I want to make sure that's what we're going to do here.
Maybe I'm not here in 6-7 months. So that's interesting. Something to keep an eye on for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of
This is not going away, and a lot of Knicks people aren't thrilled about this because it's going to hover over the franchise.
It's Mike Brown had to answer.
Always said, So, Ian Begley asked Mike Brown about it.
Yes, he did.
Like, what do you want from me?
I know that you like the stars to play in the bigger markets and all that.
Yes.
You know, Crosby go to the Rangers, Giannis go to the Knicks, all that stuff. But the process of that happening is bad for the sport. Where Now you're asking questions about it. It feels like, the Bucks get off to a bad start. Oh, is Giannis going to ask for his way out? It's not good for the fans in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good to tease the fans in New York.
Nope.
So it makes for good sports radio, but I don't think it's good for the sport while you're playing regular season games, and this is going to be the conversation all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Giannis going to go? Well, how about you play where you're playing, honor your contract, and then if you get traded or something. He's saying that, but it shouldn't be a conversation.
How would you like to be a temmate?
Oh,
How
you're
would you like to
disgusted.
be Miles Turner who just signed there?
You're disgusted.
And now you're like, is this dude in or is he not? Like, is he? Because you're going to have teammates that are going to wonder, is he all in or not?
Well, I
in
think
certain situations.
he is such a good player. If he's not locked in, I think you're going to be able to tell if he's
there's
not
no
locked
doubt.
in. So, and he's saying all the right things.
Yep.
Even if these things continue to sprout up from whether it's his camp or somebody else or anything, we're going to know if Giannis is not all locked into the Bucks.
But how about the Knicks side of it? This is a team that for the first time in 30 years is the second highest odds favored to win a championship.
Isn't that amazing?
So they're going into this year the way they're currently constructed, thinking we have a chance to win a championship.
We have belief again.
You have a new coach with a new system. Speaking of systems, with what Sully was saying, well, it's the same thing with Mike Brown. There's some things that it might take a little while to get adjusted to. So if they have a couple of stumbles early in the season, you don't think that that's going to start? Well, they got to get Giannis. You got to get Giannis. They have to win a championship this year because this is the year to win. And if they don't,
But that's what I'm saying is unfair.
You got to get Giannis. So both franchises are going to have to deal with this.
So the Knicks are as hyped up as any team has been in a long time, especially any Knick team.
Yep.
And yet this is the conversation about going out and getting this player, or maybe next year. Can you focus on what should be a really good year this year?
And then you'll get, if they get off to a good start, they don't need Giannis. You don't want, and every time Giannis comes up, we don't want it. That's the problem. Is it's just one of those things that hovers. But if you've been in New York long enough, and these guys, this core of this team's been in New York long enough, they're kind of like used to it. And I can't imagine it's going to become a distraction. But this type of stuff,
it's just
it never can just be a clean year.
It's one of the things.
Always got to be something.
It happens in every sport, but it seems to happen more in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
All the soap opera garbage.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely
and I
right.
know it keeps a lot of people that aren't like diehards invested.
It's the drama.
But listen, that's the one thing about you got to love about the Knicks. There's no load management. At least there weren't load management.
Not. We'll see.
But
No, you
it's
keep
always
saying
about
that.
it's always about the regular season.
You keep saying that now.
So let's enjoy the basketball. We shouldn't have to worry about distractions
Yes.
with a team that's got. It should be entertaining on its own merit.
But because of the pressure to win now this year, because of the opportunity, the injuries, everything else, everything will be magnified.
But they're not going to hand them to you. And do you want to
consecutive losses will feel like a week's worth of losing.
Who is it? Stephen A. You told me, Anthony, that if I'm the Knicks, I give up everybody's
Everybody
on the
but
table.
Jalen Brunson, yes.
Okay, so what kind of team would that be? I got Giannis and Jalen Brunson and what's G League guys. That's a good team.
On first take, Stephen A. said, if I'm looking for Giannis, if I'm the Knicks, I'm willing to give up everybody.
So.
And said, except Jalen Brunson because he has to play with somebody.
I was on the record saying it yesterday, I believe, and I'll reiterate it
It's
one
on
more
video.
time. And everybody just know that I've said this, and I'm telling you, this is not a team-to-team trade.
Right.
This is going to take multiple teams and multiple pieces. It's incredibly complicated.
Yep.
And to do it during a season, which by the time the Bucks would do it, would be the trade deadline, which is really late in the year, to then all of a sudden go, okay, Avengers, assemble. Like, it's not really how it works. This is better off done in the offseason. They tried in August. Nobody really felt like the other guy was serious, so nobody was really going to put their cards on the table. So this feels like
do it.
Wait till next year.
Do it. You have the power. You're the Knick guy. You're sensational at what you do. People respect your opinion. Shut it down now. Shut it. Shut it down. Say it. Shut it down.
A trade for Giannis.
Shut it down.
A trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo will not happen in season.
Bang. Done.
And
Move on.
enjoy the fact that you have a season that could be really, really exciting.
And that's it.
And here we
We're
go.
done.
This is interesting. Alan brought this to my attention, and I think I read it in some capacity. I don't really know. But the NCAA Division I Administrative Committee on Wednesday
this story, Don. My God.
has adopted a proposal
This
to allow student athletes and AD staff to bet on professional sports.
What are we doing?
Why?
I don't know why.
What's the end game for this?
I see that in the story it said a shift in a long-held policy that had become difficult to enforce with the spread of legal sports betting in the United States. So college kids will be allowed to bet on, possibly if this goes through, professional games and athletic director staff as well.
Here's the secret: they already are.
They already are. Yes. Well,
I guess that's why you do it, right? Because you're wondering what the end game is. It's like we can't stop them from doing it. So why don't we just allow them to?
I don't see the harm in a college athlete betting on professional sports. I'm sure you guys are going to tell me a slippery slope as to why I'm wrong.
Can I read you the one paragraph that really caught my attention?
Please
in the story?
do.
NCAA officials emphasized that the rule change is not an endorsement of sports betting and that they remain concerned with the risks associated with all forms of sports gambling.
Right.
The change was supported by the Division I Student Athlete Advisory Committee.
Which is brought to you by FanDuel.
But so the NCAA is telling you, we're not really comfortable with this. We don't think it's good to let 18-year-olds and to 19-year-olds who, most of them have NIL money to, bet on professional sports. We don't like this as an idea to encourage it.
So can they NIL,
but we know they're doing it.
Would they be able to NIL with sports gambling companies? Or
why not?
It's interesting.
Remember, again, you can't. It's not about betting on college sports. It's about betting on pro sports.
No, I know.
But they're even telling you we're not comfortable with this, but we're still going to allow it. Why?
Because you can't stop it. So what are you going to do? Now you're going to enforce the rules, and now you're going to damage a lot of kids' reputations by suspending them or kicking them out of school. And so what do you do? But
they find out that like half of the college athletes are ineligible to play this year because they've all done this in some capacity.
Here's the quote too from Dina Casario, who is Dr. Dina. Who is the NCAA's chief medical officer. Here's the quote. Abstinence-only approaches to the social challenges for college-age individuals are often not as successful as approaches that focus on education about risks and open dialogue. So basically, the reason they're saying is to completely ban it doesn't really work because we know you'll find a way around it. So instead, what we want to do is have conversations and let you know the risks that are involved in gambling.
So it'll be an extra.
So that's their excuse here, is saying that just making this rule to ban it, they'll find ways around.
It'll be an extra day on media day. Hey, here's our sports gambling. Are
we going to? Because right now, I still believe the overwhelming majority of people that are into sports are into sports because they're fans.
Yep.
They might bet, make things interesting, have some fun, because gambling can be fun to some people. When do we get to the point? Do we get to the point where the overwhelming majority of people interested in sports are doing it because of the gambling and really aren't diehard fans?
I don't know.
Could we get to that point?
Weren't we there in the 20s?
Yes. That we got
1920s.
Well, because
we are in the 20s right now.
There
I was like,
100 years ago.
Because back at the turn of the century.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
All right.
It's great.
Back at the turn of the century.
No flying cars yet, though.
George Jetson's a liar.
If you go back at the turn of the century, the two biggest sports in this country were horse racing and boxing.
Yeah.
And they were bet on.
A lot of money.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
All right. And then eventually baseball.
Well, college basketball.
Yeah. Well,
the growth of college basketball. Really, the idea of the Garden and basketball in general was because the college games going to, having double headers and triple headers, because betting was so huge in New York that's where you want it to be. The whole idea of the Mecca, by the way, was for college basketball. You make a pilgrimage to the Garden. That means you're a good team. You were invited. So that, and then we all know, NYU, CCNY, all the different scandals that happened back then.
Well, there's always going to be scandals and there's always going to be gambling. But the reason I bring up those two sports is because sports were new. So there was, how are you a diehard fan? The Yankees just started. The Dodgers and the Giants, they just started. Football was nowhere.
We were at war.
You just can't all of a sudden be a league starts and I'm a diehard.
No.
That has to come over time.
But that
and
sucked you in.
It's generational, and you invest a lot of time into it, and you become a diehard fan. Same thing with the gambling. All right, I'm gonna dabble. I'm a diehard fan. I'm gonna dabble, but there's gonna be a generation that's like introduced to gambling. That's how they're introduced to sports, and they never really become a diehard fan because their allegiance is to whatever team they're betting on or whatever player they're betting.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but could we fast forward, 50, 60 years from now, after we're long gone, and we're going to see that sports is not really about fans. It's about people just having money on that particular game in that particular moment, and that's really where their interest lies.
It's possible.
And if that happens, then it's over.
Yeah, but I think there's much in the last 10 years for sure. But if you compare it even just to the 90s, I do think the percentage of people who are watching as fans versus watching because there's something I can benefit from in this game has completely changed. Now, a lot of the betting previously was, look, betting never stopped on sports. We know that.
No.
So it's always been there underlying, but now it's more you could just be out in the open about it.
But when it was,
I got to hear about somebody's parlay every freaking day.
But when I was a kid growing up, right, we'd be at school and somebody would come with those sheets with the football where you can bet on the college and the NFL.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, I'll throw $5-10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then when you got a little older, maybe you knew somebody that knew a bookie, but it was very rare. At least for me, because I didn't live in that world really, but I'd run into people, hey, let's have some fun at Sports Phone, let's bet on a game.
Right, yeah.
But now it's legal. It's encouraged. You can't watch a game 5 minutes without there being a commercial about it.
It's on my phone.
So it's all over there. You watch games. People are staring at their phones. I still believe, like I'm watching the Cub game right now, that 99.9% of the people that are at Wrigley Field right now are 100% solely invested in the Cubs' success.
Mm-hmm.
But will there be a time where there'll be 30, 40,000 people in the building, and 99.9% of them can care less who wins as long as their bet comes?
If I'm not mistaken, I think Wrigley has the sports book in Chicago. I think there is a sports book inside of Wrigley or near Wrigley. I believe that that's the case. Apropos of nothing and completely unrelated, I do like no goal first 10 tonight for Boston, Washington. And, of course, because you have to do it, Don, everybody does, over 6.5 in the Battle of Alberta, because that game will be $150 million.
That's a really good segue.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Yes, thank you, Jacob. DraftKings has a spot in Wrigley.
Okay.
So you can actually go up to the counter like you used to and bet, not just inside your phone.
Like a man.
And
I do find funny sometimes, like when I hear the sports apps, bet on your favorite team. Is that a thing?
I never bet on my favorite team.
If
I don't think people do that.
Or
is that a way to kind of make it seem a little bit more fun?
Do you bet before the playoffs started? Did you bet Yankees to win the World Series? You want them to do it anyway, so it would be nice if you bet on them and they won it. If I feel like they're going to win a game, then I bet on them. If I feel like I don't know how this game's going to go,
you're motivated. It's not by I love the Yankees. I'm going to bet the Yankees. It's what you feel.
Never bet against.
I think as a fan, see, I never did it, but I always wanted to. Is to bet against my team in a big game, so at least I get paid if they lose. I never did it.
It's an interesting way to do it.
I never did it because I remember.
So one way or another, you win.
It'd feel like blood money. It wouldn't feel good. It really wouldn't feel good.
No,
and I'm glad I didn't do it. Like I remember the first time I did it was when the Devils were up 3-0 against the Red Wings. I'm like, I should bet the Red Wings. That way, if the Devils do blow a 3-0 series lead, think of the money I get paid. And then I'm like, then I didn't do it. They swept them, and I'm like, I feel so good. But you understand the logic, right? I'm demoralized by my team losing. Like if you're a Yankee fan, you'd be disgusted if the Yankees lose. But if you made like a grand out of it, you're like, all right, listen, I'd rather burn the money, but it's nice that I feel terrible, but at least I got paid to feel terrible.
I think people now do bet on their teams more, but it's not in the traditional way of over-unders or lines. It's props, and there's an explanation. Earlier in the year when Marcus Stroman was still on the Yankees, that was this year, by the way.
That's crazy. Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There was one game early in the season. We don't know if we're going to get this game in. It's cold. It's rainy. Who's pitching? Marcus Stroman? Yes, run first inning. He will give up a run in the. I don't want it to happen. I'm just telling you. Yes, run first inning.
It's a
and lo and
business
behold,
decision.
It hit. So you'll get that. There was a time where the Rangers, when their power play was actually good, a couple years ago, that every single game on one of the sports books, it was plus money for Mika Zibanejad to get a power play point. And that was when the power play was automatic and they were scoring every single night. So you could do something with that as a fan of a team, but to say like, I don't know about the Blue Jays tonight, I think I'm going to bet Yankees plus 1.5 or whatever the number is. I don't know how you could do that if you're a true fan. If you've lost all your fandom and you're just betting to bet because you think you have an edge on something, that's probably where that would
kind of like
go.
this idea, though.
Hedging?
I think if the Yankees win tonight, I might sprinkle something on Game 5 just to make me feel better one way or another.
Oh, you're going to emotional hedge the Yankees?
I'm going to go emo.
That's a bad place to be as a fan.
I think I'm going to emo that
No,
one.
it's not a bad place. I mean,
It's
what
better than
what you're
biking
suggesting
to
is
Port Jefferson in the middle of the night.
that you're rooting
It's
for the money.
healthier.
You're not rooting for the money.
No.
But it's money.
It's money.
I think blood money makes sense.
Yeah,
it's
but,
blood money.
Blood money.
Sorry.
If you
worth
can
as
get
much
something out
as
of your pain, it
good
might
money.
as well. It might as well. Be
If
money.
you're going to piss me off, at least I'm going to get some money for it, right?
Well, this is we have of course we have the AFC North quarterback situation, which I didn't think we'd get here, but here we are.
This story.
Cincinnati head coach Zach Taylor talking about adding Joe Flacco.
Played him a lot, watched him a lot. Brings great experience, great leadership. His style fits our style of play too. So excited to get him out there. We'll start him this week, so he's going to take all the reps, get ready to go. Already spent a lot of time meeting with us, getting up to speed. So feel really good about where he's at.
So
makes sense.
Joe Flacco will start for the Bengals against the Packers of Green Bay this weekend. Now I said this yesterday because I thought it was just a foregone conclusion. Kevin Stefanski talking today. Is Shedeur Sanders quarterback too?
Well, first I'd tell you is the Joe trade took us by surprise. That was not something that we saw coming. They called us, and it happened very fast and happened not too long ago. So still working through all roster type of things. I always have to be mindful of our players and our players' development, and I want to make sure that I'm always doing what's best for our players and of course our team. But with young players, I'm always thinking about last week making the change to Dylan. You have to think long and hard about that because these are young players that you're so invested in their development. So I'll let the week play out and make a decision later on that.
I believe that.
That's a really long cut to say no.
No, you're right.
But first of all, the fact that the coaching staff was caught off guard by this.
Right?
Anybody
know who the third string is for the Browns right now? Anybody?
It's Bailey Zappi.
That's correct.
Former Patriot.
Yeah, current.
He was a practice squad guy, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
But I believe him that they weren't looking to trade him, and they got a phone call, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
That's fair.
You believe that, or do you think he's lying?
No, I absolutely believe it.
No, I believe that. I just wonder.
But as a coaching staff, you're like, whoa, we just lost our quarterback. Hang on a second.
We just lost our backup.
Yeah.
Who are we bringing up? And clearly, there's still some hesitation, at least for Coach Stefanski, about Sanders being.
They don't want to make him
QB2.
They don't want to make him the backup
because they don't want Dylan Gabriel to have a bad game. And in the middle of that game, people clamoring for Shedeur Sanders if he's not
I think
ready.
there's that. That's definitely part of it. I think they also. You could just tell they don't want to be in a situation where, like, Bailey Zappi's not exactly a veteran, but he has started games in the NFL. You just kind of want to have that safety net of a guy who at least knows what he's doing instead of one rookie to another rookie.
Yeah.
Although it worked well with Zach Wilson to Mike White.
It did. I think he was released off of the Bengals practice squad.
Mike White?
Last week, I think.
He'll be
I
picked
think
up.
Yeah, he's hanging around. One more update before we get a Dodge here. It looks like the Cubs are threatening again in the bottom of the third, 4-1 over the Brewers, with Milwaukee leading that series 2-0. That game is in Chicago. And tonight, after coverage of Yankees Blue Jays Game 4, win or lose, we will have Pat O'Keefe on the air until 12 midnight.
Love Pat.
So he will be on after the
Well,
Yankee
we
game.
should have the ability for Yankee fans to celebrate or vent after a big game.
And Pat will give you that opportunity.
And Pat's a Yankee guy, so it's a safe space for the fans. So they'll line them up, man. Do it. It's a good place to be. Good kid. I can say that because I'm 57.
Sure.
Everybody's a kid to me, except Michael. I think Michael's the only one older than me in the station.
I'm not that far away.
No, but I didn't call you a kid.
No.
But I don't even know if Pat's 50 yet. Don't know.
And that's CNN, gentlemen.
Hey, all
enjoy
right.
it. All right, all about you the rest of the way. 1-800-919-3776. Don Hahn and Rosenberg until 7. Then it's Yankee baseball on ESPN New York.
Has issued an upset alert. Number 1 Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, and BYU are all favored on the road. Someone is going down. Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz, on the Fine Line Saturday at 8 a.m. In the NFL, KC faces another big test as they host the Lions. Plus, the Wiz talks baseball, soccer, and hockey winners. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz, Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments, or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine.
New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Right now, police are stepping up patrols to make sure drivers and pedestrians obey our crosswalk laws. Why? Because every year in New York, people are injured or killed just crossing the street. So remember, pedestrians, obey traffic signals and use crosswalks. And drivers, yield to pedestrians in crosswalks. If you don't, we will educate you on the law. And you may get a ticket, because tickets get attention, and that saves lives. A message from the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Bally Bet Sportsbook. Yo, Bally Bet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Check out that brand new Parlay Zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Bally Bet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Bally Bet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Yankees hoping there's going to be a long run.
Nice.
That will begin tonight to force the Game 5 on Friday, and we're here for it. 1-800-919-3776. Back with you again tomorrow at 3, either a post-mortem or a preview of Game 5. And we also have a Giant Eagle game, which I got to be honest with you, in the history of this rivalry, probably the least anticipated
You're not into
matchup.
this. Are you going to be ready for the Saquon documentary that's going to drop also?
I'm good. I mean,
no,
I lived
you don't want to relive it?
No, I'm good.
Just go through all the pain and misery once again, reminded about just how dysfunctional.
Listen, I'm over it, man.
I didn't believe Booger when he said that the Giants still, no matter what goes on, players don't look at them any differently.
Well,
come on, man.
Well, because why would they?
Saquon's doing a really good job smearing as much as he can.
I understand what he's saying. That like certain franchises that the name and the history comes
precedes
up,
itself
for sure.
Right.
But if you're a 20-something NFL player, all you know about the Giants is a team that is just dysfunctional.
A mess.
And if you don't know, your agent's telling you, listen, we hope Giants don't draft you because the team's a mess. I'm sorry. That's the way it is.
Dart
because the
wanted
history
to be here.
doesn't matter.
Dart wanted to be here.
Some guys don't care about it because they're confident in themselves and they like the big stage because it's still New York, right? Mm-hmm. The Jets the same way. I got to get a chance to play in New York. I'll be the guy that changes everything. But I'm sorry. we're talking about the Tyreek catch. That was February of 2008. You know, so any 23-year-old kid coming out of the draft, that might as well have been Don Larson's perfect game to you and me, right? It's like, you know, it's archive footage. It doesn't matter.
They're like 3 years old.
You know, there's all, you know, so listen, it's New York. It's still the Giants. I get what Booger's saying, but I think these kids want to go to a place where they know they can have a chance to be a star. And right now, the biggest star that they've had in the last, you know, since Eli has been Saquon, and he was run out of town by the Giants, or at least that's the perception. They didn't want him, and they're thinking, well, I don't want that to happen to me. But from a Giants perspective, I don't care about Saquon. I care about the state of my team. And even when Saquon was here, the state of the team was not good. No quarterback, no coaching. You're curious about the general manager, an owner that right now looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. That should bother you more than Saquon.
But this looks really bad, Don, because not only did Saquon go to a team, have an MVP-level season, win a Super Bowl, have a moment where he jumps backwards over a guy, becomes a cover of a video game, like everything that he was supposed to be when you drafted him, touched by the hand of God, he became once he changed jerseys. Wait, stay with me. Now this year, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Puts on a different jersey, and all of a sudden, they're having one of the best starts they've had in years. They have the best record in their division and in the AFC.
Right.
This team, people that think this team's for real because they have a good defense, they have a good offensive line, and Daniel Jones knows what he's doing at quarterback. That's the kind of stuff that's just, it's impossible for a franchise to just look away like, oh, no, that has nothing to do with us.
Right.
No, it has everything to do with you.
But
Two
again,
guys that were drafted in the top 10 that was supposed to be the difference in the future for you that led you to a playoff a couple of years ago, both guys gone to other places having more success. And where are you?
I know,
Still trying to figure it out.
Alan, the problem is that they had these guys and didn't have success. That's what should bother you because the dysfunction. So it would bother me more if these guys left, say as free agents or whatever, and the Giants were close to winning and now didn't win because they lost Saquon Barkley, didn't win because they lost Daniel Jones, and now the Colts and the Eagles win with our players. These guys were here. We didn't know how to use them. We weren't able to do anything with them because we couldn't function as a franchise. So good on those guys. Get the hell out of here, right? Because we weren't winning with them. So forget about 22. That was a fluke. Everybody knew it. All right, Saquon was here, loved him, but the Giants had that one playoff appearance. Otherwise, the guy was getting hurt. The guy was killing himself for what? To win 6 games a year? All right, so if we had kept him, all right, the Giants, instead of winning 3 games, would have won 4 or 5. I mean, if you care about Saquon Barkley the way John Mara claimed to, you should have said, get out of here. We can't figure it out right now. You're going to ruin the rest of your career.
But the owner's not going to do that.
Right, but do something about it. The fact is we can't function as a franchise, no matter who we have. So that's the thing that bothers me more than these guys having success somewhere else.
But that's the point. Like it just hammers home the idea that there's a lot of dysfunction in this organization.
And that's got to get corrected. That's why the whole idea of, tanking for this guy or maybe Jackson, I hope Jackson Dart can be a good player. But it really doesn't matter how good he is. If there's dysfunction around him, well, then he won't become the player. Same thing with the Jets. Right? Oh, they could have had Trevor Lawrence if they didn't win that game against the Rams. Okay, you probably would have screwed Trevor Lawrence up because you screw up every quarterback you have.
The Jaguars almost screwed him
you
up.
are a dysfunctional franchise, so it doesn't matter. I can gift you the best player in the world. If you don't know what you're doing, it's not going to matter. Mm-hmm. You got to fix what's wrong inside and then get the players. Everybody wants to put the cart before the horse. It's not a quarterback away. It's not just a coach away. It's everything, man.
We all have to fix what's inside first.
That's it.
We really do.
Chad and Rocky Point, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, Chad?
I almost drove to Rocky Point. Or almost rode the bike to Rocky
Point.
Yeah, well, you guys are starting to make me feel like a real part of the show because you always take my calls. I appreciate you. I really do.
Well, we appreciate you.
Well, look, a couple of things. One, I think the Giancarlo Stanton RBIs last night are being severely overlooked. I mean, we know about how when another team scores runs, it's so important to shut out the other team when they get up. But every time they score 2 runs in the first, Giancarlo gets an RBI in the bottom. They score another 4 runs in the third, and Giancarlo Stanton leads to a couple of RBIs in the bottom of that inning, and how important that is to the psyche of a team to keep them rolling along, keep them in the fight. and to keep the opposing pitcher from feeling stronger and stronger as you go along. And I really feel like it's an injustice to Giancarlo Stanton and how big those RBIs were last night. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, remember, it was Judge with the double first in the third. When they looked like they were dead in the water, right. Judge got you the double, and then Stanton got the sacrifice fly. Right?
Yes.
That's how you got to 6-3. Yep. And that was important. To get to 6-3 felt like, okay, you're back in it. But that just made you feel like you were back in it. Those were important.
And we had mentioned just to be able to answer right away. But they're going to talk about Judge because of how spectacular that whole situation was, and it tied the game. Hey, listen, Jazz's home run to give them the lead gets lost in the whole shuffle because of how that happened.
Yeah, against Farland. He was throwing gas. So 2 home runs off him was big.
It gets back to the conversation we had yesterday. It's about when you're talking about Aaron Judge, everything is bigger. Everything is different.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't hit he doesn't hit a wall scraper home run. He hits one that would have landed in the upper deck if not for the foul pole, or as Dave Sims called it, the fair pole. Because everything he does, everything he's about is bigger than life, right? So I'm sorry. Giancarlo's sacrifice fly, as important as it wasn't that, right? It's a stick of Wrigley gum compared to a sizzling ribeye. It's just a different thing altogether.
Never really liked Wrigley.
It's just because I'm looking at Wrigley.
You're looking at Wrigley. So
what was your go-to gum back
in the day? Big Red.
I liked Big Red.
Now, wasn't Big Red a Wrigley product?
Probably.
Yeah, but Big Red at least had that little bit of a cinnamon kick.
Bubble Yum was big when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, of course. But that would wear out fast.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get Lockjaw. Too much work.
That's the worst. And what's the other one I'm thinking of?
Fruit Stripe?
Yeah,
you like Fruit Stripe?
Great.
Fruit Stripe was good, too.
But, yeah, there was a gum that wasn't so much losing the flavor. I can live with losing the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But when it would kind of turn to sand when you chewed it too much, you know what I'm saying? Like it lost its consistency and – You're gagging on it. Oh, awful.
I don't know, but gum back then, people need to know.
People still chew gum?
Didn't last. I do. All the time.
I want to get back.
Always have a pack in the bag, pack in the car.
But for breath, right? Not for the sheer enjoyment of the chew.
If you have dry mouth, it's good for dry mouth.
But if you're serving
hungry,
a purpose.
If you're hungry, it's a really good way to suppress appetite.
That's a good, really?
Yeah.
I want to get
you're hungry and you don't want to eat. You chew some gum because, number one, now you have that clean mouth feeling. You don't want to eat when you have clean mouth. Yeah.
I just hate, biting my cheek. I do that sometimes.
Yeah, it makes you crazy.
Start working the gum and just,
Big League Chew. You're aggressive when you chew gum.
Yeah, I'm a mess.
Big League Chew, get the shredded gum.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was always good.
You never know where we're going to go on the show, ever.
Did you ever chew the gum in the baseball pack, though?
Yeah.
Because that was cardboard. It would literally snap in half.
Oh, yeah. I would do it.
And you realize
it wasn't good.
No, really. That was probably made in a factory, the same factory that was making the cards. Literally right next to it.
Now, I never asked this because sometimes it would ruin the first card in the deck.
Oh,
right?
from the dust.
Right.
Yep.
And I wonder, it's not mint condition, but it should be still mint condition because it proves to you that it's
and the gum was mint.
Right out of the pack. It's just the gum was in the pack. It's not my fault.
Actually, you would think it'd be more valuable because it's the card that had the gum next to it.
Right. I got this was right fresh out of the pack. 1-800-919-3776. Finish it up with your phone calls and then hand it off to Yankees and the Blue Jays. Big game 4 at the stadium right here on ESPN New York.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter to download the FanDuel app today and get started. 21 and over in Findlay, Present, New York. First online, real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
The Wiz has has issued an upset alert. Number 1 Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, and BYU are all favored on the road. Someone is going down. Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz, on the Fine Line Saturday at 8 a.m. In the NFL, KC faces another big test as they host the Lions. Plus, the Wiz talks baseball, soccer, and hockey winners. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz, Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
Is college even worth it these days? At Empire State University, it actually is. They are SUNY's leading online university. Flexible, affordable, and built for real life. With more than 120 degree programs, you can study what matters most to you. And students agree. They're ranked number 1 in student satisfaction among SUNY schools. Whether you are finishing what you started or starting fresh, your goals are within reach. See for yourself. Visit sunyempire.edu before the next term begins.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. J. Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
One 877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
All right, let's hear from you. How you feeling? Let's go to Mark in the car. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Mark?
Hey, guys. Thanks a lot for taking my call. Just want to follow up a little bit on that Giant talk you just had.
Yes.
I'm a season ticket holder for like 50 years, and I have not given up. But unless we can win a game or two in the next couple of weeks, I got to tell you, Don, I know you don't like to hear this, but being 1-8 or 1-9 or whatever it's going to be, I'll be not only rooting for them to lose again for the draft pick, because even a blind squirrel can find a nut, but we're going to have to get a new coach and a new GM, and I think that's the only way this is going to happen. We can't go through this again. This is just crushing.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Selling my tickets again.
I'm not mad at your point for the latter part of it.
He sounds fed up.
Like with the pick, I can't tank for draft picks because what does it matter? If you don't have a coach, you don't have a general manager, you're not functioning as a franchise, it doesn't matter who you draft. But I can understand if you're done with Shane, you're done with Dable, you want to bring other people in here, you know they're gone if they have an awful season. That one I can understand. I can't root for my team to lose. I just can't do it. It's not my DNA. But that one makes a little bit more sense. Like, they've got to go, and eventually a blind squirrel finds a nut with the right GM and the right head coach, and then you begin to function again. That makes more sense than let's get the shiny new toy, bring him in here, and just another talented player that never does anything because the franchise can't function.
Well, what he wants is all of it. So he wants the high picks. You
Right.
get more talent, which you desperately need. And you get new people calling the shots.
I'm against it.
He sounded fed up, and I don't blame him.
But I can't get mad at that.
No.
I just hate fans.
I know.
Just throw seasons away to get the draft pick. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
No.
And even though I don't know who the replacements would be for Shane and Dable, and again, it'd be the same guy picking the wrong guys again, but at some point, to his point about the blind squirrel finding out that maybe they do bring in the next Parcells, the next Belichick, the next Shanahan, the next great coach that's going to figure this all out. Maybe. Because that's what it takes.
Maybe Belichick. Because it sounds like UNC's doing all they can to get him the hell out of there.
And I would be fine with that.
Would you really take Belichick after what you saw?
Just coach.
No, I know, but would you really, after what you just saw?
What did I see? I saw him, get like 70 new players on a program that's not known for doing anything.
But he doesn't look like him anymore.
No, because I don't know what he's doing.
I know what you said. It must be really good, and I'm with you.
No, never mind
but
that.
I'm talking about
70 could be 73 years old.
Where he is right now, would you do it?
I wouldn't.
No, okay.
But if he can't, if we hired a general manager, right, a really good general manager, and he said, you know what, I think Bill Belichick's got something left. If he's only coaching, if he comes here and he's going to be the coach and the GM and he draft and play, no, that's not going to work.
Right.
That ship sailed. But he didn't forget how to coach NFL. All right, but I understand you're getting to a point, not ageism, but you start to get to your mid-70s, and it's been a long time since the last time you won and didn't end well in New England. I'm not going to grade him on what happened. That was never going to work.
Yeah.
That was – and the stuff that's happening off the field, that's his business. I don't think one has anything to do with the other, really.
Okay.
I just think – I don't think anybody's – North Carolina with those changeover of players, I don't know what he was thinking. Certainly wasn't thinking with his brain. Let's go to Mike in Selden. You're on ESPN New York.
Seldom do.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? Hey, just to piggyback on a call from earlier, Don, I'm not saying that Judge's 3-run homer was not the ribeye and it was the best piece, but it was not a piece of gum. The 2 RBIs will stand. It was more like a baked potato or like
right.
creamy
the analogy
spinach.
wasn't
You
great.
You needed it for the ribeye, but the ribeye was more important.
I know.
And for Allen, I'm telling you, Melo has inside information. Brogdon's making that team, and I want him as the backup point guard. I cannot wait for tomorrow. As a Jets fan, I cannot wait for the Knicks to be home in MSG, preseason or not.
I'm with
Let's
you.
go, baby.
I do agree there, though. I do think Brogdon and Shaman are great fits that are going to find their way on this roster.
Let's go to Richard in Manhattan. It's been a long time for him. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Richard?
Hi, Don. Allen. I don't know what the manager for Toronto was doing yesterday. He woke up a sleeping giant. He didn't have to. He was throwing the ball right over the plate. With Judge, he'll leave him alone, throw the ball outside. Maybe he chases, maybe he doesn't. Worst is he walks.
Well, the home run was inside, though, Richard.
It was eye level, a little below eye level. That was a good pitch. He got his whole arms around it.
Yeah,
he was fine. Well, and I noticed the other guys, Volpe and a lot of the other guys, were all swinging at balls, bad pitches. That's what you want the Yankees to do because they're not a patient team. But the most important guy, you got to be patient with.
Judge's home run was a ball.
Yeah, most of them are. Well,
That was
but
a
it
ball.
wasn't that far out of the strike zone.
No, but it was you saw the stats. Nobody
ever hit
out
that ball
except him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, because of his size.
You have to
Those
give him
seminal moments.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Knicks' seminal moment was, of course, getting the Busher. Right after that franchise changed.
Agree.
Yankees' seminal moment when they fired Berra after the 64 World Series. They were bad for 11 and a half years after that. So Billy Martin.
Okay.
And the New York Giants' seminal moment, first quarter of the 63 championship game against the Bears. They were up 10-0. Obradovich knocked Kittle out of the game. He came back in the second half, 5 interceptions. They were bad for the next 17 years until Ray Perkins came in 81. From that moment on, when Kittle came out of the game, they were bad. Those are the 3 seminal moments.
But you gave me 2 negative ones, and the positive one was the
One
Busher.
positive one was the
So
Busher,
I'll give you the Nick negative one, right? There could be 2. One, trading Clyde Frazier.
Oh, of course. Well, he was on his way. That was almost like Joe Namath.
But it set.
That was almost like Joe Namath.
But it
Allen.
set the franchise off its axis.
Okay,
right? And it was Willis Reed who did it, which is even weirder.
Right.
But I also would say, and I said it earlier, passing on Ron Artest, for Frederick Weiss, that set the tone for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Now, also not as big as Clyde, but letting go of Ewing.
They had to.
No, but wouldn't it have been better just to let
him walk?
Walk.
Yes, that was the
Trading
mistake.
him was the mistake.
Let him walk. Yeah, the mistake.
Not moving on, just how they moved on.
The mistake was thinking you would get value for him, which was not going to happen. That was, but that was a major one. But to me, it's like Ron Artest was right there in your backyard. Wanted to be a Knick, toughness, all the things that embodied it.
know.
And you pass on him, and then he haunts you for the next 10 years. Not getting him, and also him being on better teams.
And I got to do this. Moose in Jamaica, you're not banned anymore. You're back.
Yeah,
You've been on
back.
hold since the beginning of the show. But, Moose, really, you wanted to talk about the Giants starting Jackson Dart week 1 on a day where the Yankees stay alive. Did you think we were going to take you at the beginning of the show with that take?
No. It's a question. It's more like, based on the way Jackson Dart's playing, do you think that the Giants would look more representative as a football team based on the functionality of the
I
offense,
get the point, but did you really think we were going to take you in the first segment of the show?
Never. No, never. No, never. It was just
it just felt like calling.
No, it was just first I had to call to show face, and I didn't leave you guys like I'm.
No, we left you.
No. We banned you until you were replaced.
I'm down for the game. I'm a loyal listener since how many chances you get and beyond that. But my point is, and you can have this conversation starting for the game tomorrow, which I think we have a legitimate chance, not just because the Eagles are coming off a stinker, but the Giants are probably playing for some sort of representative record in the division. Is this the first division game since week 1? So, and it's going to be a run of division games for the next coming week.
No, well, the first 2 were in the division with the Cowboys and that loss.
I know you're outside.
Thank you. Moose. Washington and Dallas started, and both were losses. Listen, I don't know what to expect. I'm a big believer in that when you have a bad loss and you blow a lead like the Eagles did, they're going to want to try to get
All
well
I'm going to say
on
is
Thursday.
they had a team meeting.
Yeah, it's not good.
Which tells you they know the Eagles know something's wrong internally. So I'd watch and see how they play.
Listen, it's not good, Bob, as they like to say, but you know what? It is good. The Yankees still being alive, and we're here for it, whatever it ends up being. The twists and turns, the roller coaster that Yankee fans are going to go through. We're going to be with you tomorrow at 3:00. We'll sprinkle in some Giants and Eagles. Sure. It's That Guy Thursday. We'll dive into that as well. So we're really looking forward to the show tomorrow. So good luck, Yankees. We will talk to you again at 3:00. Yankee baseball's up next right here on ESPN New York.
Hey, it's Gary Myers. Catch my NFL show